Hey, we're back. I'm sorry for the lack of anything here lately. I've been quite under the weather, but I seem to be at the tail end just in time. I was joking around with Ryan while we were both deathly ill, and I think the show is getting me sick because I feel like every time, every like the day after I watch the show. I get I get deathly ill, and it takes me like days to recover, and then by the time I'm better, it's time for another show. But I'm sure that's not what's happening. It's just weird correlation, right? I know everybody's getting sick, like the reporter said. It's just funny because like I get well for the show, then the show happens, and down the toilet my health goes. But real quick, hey, Chris is here, Yanon is here, Aldan, all hail the Lord Dragon, wielder of Kalendor. Aldan and Vic. Vic Rattlehead, how are you, buddy? I haven't got to speak to you in a while. Hope everything's going well with all the stuff there. I think you know what I mean. John Thomas is here. How are you? I'm gonna put the banner up. I'll bring you all in here in a few minutes here. We're not gonna waste much time with me just talking about. I want to hear what you guys have to say about uh, this thing called episode 5. I've literally been pretty much comatose since. I haven't worked. I missed days of work and everything. I was pretty sick. I may have been drinking. Maybe I did. Maybe I just opted for drinking the crap water instead of rewatching the show. No, 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 Chris. I have 3 kids. School just started. So I'm very sure that it's just a bug going around. So it's one of those things. It's just part of a new school year. Uh, that's just how it is. It's the life of a parent, right? You pretty much know you're gonna get sick first few weeks into school, or if you don't, you count yourself among the lucky ones, right? So, but glad to see you here, Vic. Glad to see you. Reporter, what was that? How far are you, man? Where is it? Finally got through chapter. You're on chapter 3 of the Shadow Rising. Well, there you go. Finally, took you long enough. But yeah, so boy, I have not even had. So I did my short review again. I got that out just before I got really really sick. I still would like to do I think I'm just gonna run out of time. I would like to do a full on autopsy of that episode, because episode 5, I know it was one of those things we were sort of sitting there going, man, it the best of the worst, or was it I was left so dumbfounded after that episode because there was so much bad and so much, like, I guess, I don't know, like it left me questioning so many things because I couldn't believe what I saw. Like, I was so shocked, and then like you get these things that I didn't even you know like you go on Twitter, right? And I literally just went on Twitter to share this. That's the only reason I go on Twitter these days is to well, not even these days. It's the only reason I go on Twitter, right? Is to just share out the stream and get it out to you guys so everybody can be notified of what's going on, right? And then I'm greeted to this, and before I start, I share the member link in the community post for members to jump in, and we'll get your feelings about episode 5 and the show as a whole at this point. But uh, what is happening? Indeed, Staplebow. What is happening? Oh no, Staplebow isn't a member anymore. Uh, but like you're just left like I don't know, lost for words. Like, I'm finding myself more and more lost for words than anything these days. I'm very much in stages of disbelief at this point. Yeah, well, hey man, people, it's okay. That's okay. No pressure. It's all good, peeps. Okay. Staple Bo is still the king of chat. Okay. All right. Uh, so has anybody been on the Twitterverse here or the Xverse or whatever the hell you want to call it? Has anybody been on the X lately? The Twitterverse chat? Let me know. Wow, Hammock, I see you there. How are you, sir? Wow, have you watched any of these episodes yet? Have you seen any of these? I know you said that you were sort of just living vicariously through us. Oh, you're permaban from wow, you've been misbehaving. So best scene of Wheel of Prime, Ishii and Rand Eskimo kissing. Yeah, it was pretty on point. I remember that part in the book, right? Like that was yeah, yeah. Not don't even have a Twitter account. You're probably correct. Man, I love how everybody here is blocked on Twitter. That is fantastic. Why do I even use Twitter then? What the hell? If you guys are all like not getting any, I saw it, Jay. I'll get to you, buddy. I'll get to you, buddy. I can't stop. I'm not. I can't stop everything. I'll get to it if I can, dude. Uh, but I think at this point, Billy Zane is 15,000 times better than the used car salesman. I don't think there's any doubt, at least not in my mind. But yeah. So I just go on there and we're gonna watch this. I'm sorry, guys, but you know we gotta get your opinion on what's being said here, okay? And it's about my favorite scene of episode 5. And I wish Elena Duncan was here, but you know my favorite scene of episode 5. Uh, Land Fear of Mars, Ruler of Mars, Rand of Mars, Land Fear of Mars confirmed. Okay, so so I hope you guys are all strapped in your seat, especially since you guys don't got the twit twats. You guys don't have the twit twats. So here we go. Let me make sure the sound's on here. Okay. Well, how many? Are we almost? I gotta wait till 10. I'm gonna kill a little bit more time till we get to 10 minutes to try and not get killed here. Honest question by Nerporeal Lifeform. I read a great X comment on gatekeeping. Do you think those losers would like the show if they wait? Honest question. I read a great X comment on gatekeeping. Do you think those losers would like the show if they had read the books as well? I don't think it matters because half the people that are on there shilling for it have read the books. Unfortunately, right? I mean, when it comes down to it, some of the biggest shills on Twitter for the show are the ones that have already read it and are just pretending to get their adhered. Oh, I'm sorry, adhered. Sorry. I can't read. So I'm gonna put that as cold medicine. Okay. Do you think the losers would have liked the show if they had adhered to the books as well? They would have liked anything. They would have liked. So I will rephrase my question because I'm an idiot. So do I think they would have liked it if they stayed true to the books as well? Probably. I think it. I am of the mind when it comes to the shilling that they probably would have clapped up whatever. Uh, I just think it would have actually been more well received if it was actually they were actually like had good points about what they were like saying is good, right? Rather than just you know saying everything's good even though it's not. So let's see here. I think that Stable says I think that a chunk of people who like the show would have never heard about it if it was faithful to the books. To be honest, I think it goes both ways. I think there's a lot of people that don't watch it specifically because it didn't adhere to the books, and then there's those that are just looking to virtue signal. So it's the newest virtue signal topic, right? um, and so they jump on the bandwagon of anything that allows them to do that, right? So, uh, but I think the majority of them would, if it adhered to the books, they would have tried to commandeer it and make it into some feminist stuff, even though there's lots of strong females in it, and it's a matriarchy for the most part. They would have commandeered it and tried to commandeer it into something that it really isn't meant to be, right? I think that's probably would be the differences because a lot of the girl power is already baked into Wheel of Time. You don't have to make that many changes, right? Like they did. So, uh, but it is what it is, right? We'll never know because it's nowhere close, right? So, but so why did they sex change the King of Carrion? Well, because why not, right? At this point, what's the difference? Yeah, I noticed it. I think it was like the second time they said Queen of Carrion that I was like, Queen of Carrion? What? Oh, I guess it's because we can't. Well, I mean, Tom's dead too. So let's see here. How are we gonna deal with that? Are we not gonna kill? Are we not gonna kill the queen? Probably not. We're probably just gonna have a sit down, and she's gonna be like, "It's okay. It's all good. Girls get it done." Oh God, help me. Okay, you guys ready for this? We got 33 people watching. We're gonna watch this, and I'm gonna bring in the members. If you want to be a member and you want to join in some of the fun chat we're gonna have, uh, sign up to be a Dragon Sworn. Hit the join button. I think it's $2.99 for Dragon Sworn, $4.99 Hear the Horn, and Ashman. You guys are special. I love you guys. Appreciate you. If you haven't seen this, be ready. Here it comes. Here it comes.
We are in, what is that, Morocco, shooting the scene Epic Vista.
They're shooting the scene Epic Vista. Epic Vista. Also known as, if anybody can say it in chat, Epic Vista, also known as, somebody's going to say it, Mars. See, we got it. Mars. Nerporio got it. Epic Vista, a.k.a. Mars. We are on Mars. Welcome to Mars. Afternoon, Ryan. How are you? Good to see you. So thank goodness we've made it to Mars. Land Fear of Mars. Mahalaner is here. What's up, Mahalaner? How are you? It's Mars. It's Mars. It's Mars. All right, here we go. Here we go.
We wanted to have this first real meeting between Rand and Lanfear. Have
What is happening? What is happening? Guys, this is Mars. Why is there a sex wheel on Mars? Why is she wearing like a crab claw on her head? Why is she all in black? Why is she walking around in a circle like an idiot? Why is Rand topless? Why is she taller than Rand? Why is she taller than Rand? Why is she taller than Rand? Can I get some what is happenings in the chat, please? What is happening, guys? Members, hit me with some what is happenings. Holy crap! What is happening? Why is she taller than Rand? How he looks so tiny? Doesn't he? Like how could they they're so bad at shooting their own shit that they can't make Loyal look big, but they make Rand look like a tiny motherfucker. Look at him. He looks so tiny. What is happening? Oh, okay. I think I've recouped. Hold on a sec. Wow. Okay. What is happening? Yeah, let's get those emojis in there. I'll take both. Ooh, Southwind, you are not wrong. You are not wrong. 100%. 100%. First, yeah, the perspective, but still, it's like so we can't make Loyal big by using perspective shots, but we can make Rand a little tiny dude. Well done. Well done. Am I crazy, or does it look like they played with? That's what I'm saying. It sure looks like it, doesn't it? Or was it by mistake? Well, that is to her plant, her. I don't know. There's a road to, I don't know, that her kingdom, Lanferium of Mars. Like, what is this shit? All right. Guys, can I ask you guys if there's any female women? I'm sorry, if there's any women, women's in the chat, was this epic as hell? Were you guys so just on the edge of your seat at the Lanfear reveal that we didn't already know about because they announced her as Lanfear? Oh boy, boy.
Something really epic feeling to it. With everything that we're doing to approach it, it's more about doing heightened versions of the real world. Like, this isn't a costume that you'd see Lanfear in outside.
Ah, thanks, Nos. Thanks, Nos. I don't even like, how do you, like, look at this fucking thing. Award winning, guys. Award winning costuming, by the way. They're winning awards for this shit. Does anybody in chat? Robert Hobby, how are you? Good to see you. Does anybody in chat think Lanfear would be caught dead in this outfit? There you go. Aldan gets, we get the if you wouldn't see Lanfear anywhere in that, you flog. I've heard the Lanfear NW Moors. I've heard the Lanfear Semarig combination as well. I think I think that would be a huge mistake, but I could see that them trying to do that. Uh, but frankly, everything they've done with the Shan-Chan eliminates the need for Semarog. So sorry, Interporeal, cover your ears. So they could be combined. I mean, they could be giving some of Semarog's element. Hell, actually, from what they've done, they're giving some of Semarog's elements to Ishmael already. If you think about it, I mean, that's where Ishmael's positioned, right? I mean, they've negated any need for Semarog. So, I mean, they're going to give it to somebody. She's probably on the Forsaken chopping block. So I've seen that. It's just I think it's what element of that they choose to do. I think they've probably uh, I think they've already probably given it to Ishmael. I mean Ishmael's already basically second in command to Suroth, I guess, or like is gosh, man, I can't find words today. Advising, sorry. He's already propped himself up as Simrog's, or I'm sorry, Suroth's advisor. So that's basically where Simrog it was, right? So, uh, Yeah, I think it's silly. I think it's silly. Just yeah. So let's get so here we go. Come on,
The
we'll get it.
dream world. It's the first time the audience is really seeing Lanfear as Lanfear, and so we
Landfear's Landfear, everybody. This is Landfear's Landfear. Landfear's Landfear right here. Sex toy to Ishmael. Threesome haver with Ram the puppet. Speechless. Speechless. I am Bendel's here. What's up? Look at that. Jay Rambles. Thank you very much for the gift of membership. Staple Bow. He's back, guys. You thought he was gone. He's back, baby. He's back, baby. Woo! All right. Oh, that's a good question. We'll talk about that, guys. Like, keep that. What is with the three-fingered sling ring they have? Like, it's like I think it's the borrowing from other shows and other movies thing for their outfits and stuff is getting a little bit out of hand because like it's basically, excuse me, I'm sorry about that. It's basically a sling ring from Doctor Strange, but apparently now Forsaken have to have rings that indicate who they are. We have dark Aes Sedai rings. We have to wear. We're now Power Rangers. Where if we're the Black Aja, we have to wear a black coat over our Aja color. Uh, it's okay though. We're on Mars. That's all that matters. Elena Duncan, we made it.
we decided that if she's in sort of her resting state in the dream
There you go. Yes, Lanfear. Hera from Ragnarok. There you go. That actually is pretty close. I think you're probably right. Another borrowed costume. They did it better in Ragnarok. Kate Blanchett she would have done better Lanfear, that's for sure. Luther, what's up? I didn't see you. Thank you for being here. Oh boy, boy. She is in her resting state because Lanfear owns Tar. Okay.
dream world, what is it? And we like the idea that it is this.
So we like the idea that this is her
We
comfort.
wanted to get that feeling of the sex and the power, and
Not the power. Not the power and maybe the sex appeal. But let's get the sex and then the power and then the confidence. Let's not get it twisted, guys. He said sex first because that's all they're thinking about with this show. It's sex, sex, sex. Now, my question is are we going to start episode 6 with Lanfear like on top of him on the sex wheel, or are they going to be on the chair, or are they just going to be like doing it raw dog in the beaches of Mars? They forgot to edit something out of the background back here too. I don't know what that is. That must be her Martian space hub for her invasion squads to other worlds from Mars, because that's where they are. You see, they forgot to edit something out back there. I'm not sure what it is, but maybe that's Lanfear's RV because she's a redneck. He lives in an RV out on the pastures of Mars. What do you think? Am I onto something here? Oh God, I can't. We're gonna have more of this scene. Can you believe that? Episode 6, we're going to start off with this nonsense on Mars.
and the confidence that works so well for Lanfear.
So that's what I saw when I went to share out the stream. That's what I opened up and I saw was that. So thank God we got an explanation right from Rafe's mouth about how wrong he envisioned Lanfear, because holy shnikes does that look like? Who I just it's so far gone, and look, and they made her, she should get prettier going from Celine to Lanfear. Am I wrong, guys? Anybody in tech, girls, guys, anybody? Was like, shouldn't she should go? She should get even more beautiful going from. I mean, Celine is beautiful, more beautiful than anybody. Lanfear should be like better than that. And they just they dump a bunch of eyeshadow on her and say, "Ooh, pretty dominatrix." It's crazy to me that it's just like, yes, Easton.
I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna go back over to Iceland.
Okay, you're going to Aslan's.
Yes.
Okay, say hi. Say hi to the mighty lion for me. Okay. Sorry for the interruption. My son was going to Aslan's house. No, sorry. One of my friends, or one of my son's friends, is named Arsalan. So I always joke with him that his name is Aslan. So uh, let's see here. Is it geometric? Is it geometrics one XX? Is it Geo? I'm gonna call you Geo. Geo. It's a Madonna video, Frozen. Madonna mixed with Katy Perry. Fuck. Whoa, I don't know if I'm gonna say that, but thank you. I appreciate it. Dr. Danny D, she should be a mature version of Celine. Yes. And I always viewed prettier. She gets prettier if you like MILFs. Okay, well, there's nothing wrong with that, is there? Is there? Also, Severing is black, so they are erasing black character. Wonder if those who will care this time. We haven't heard anything about it yet. Maybe it's because we haven't got far enough for Severing yet. Oops, did I screw that up? Did I screw that up? Did I screw it up? Nope. Okay, StreamYard's link is up on the community tab for members. If you want to hop in here, we could talk about this show, whatever you want about this show. Let's all keep it civil. Let's keep it nice. Try not to get me kicked off the YouTubes. All right, guys. It's just, and I want to say this, and I may make a video about it. Okay, because this in my delirium. Okay, in my delirium, my 103 temperature. I was looking for something to watch, and you know what? I had been hearing good things about the One Piece, right? So I watched it, and guess what? One Piece was pretty darn fun. I had a lot of fun with One Piece watching it. And then you want to know what else to my shock was? I said, well, you know what? Let me just take a gander here because Netflix has the anime going at the same time, right? So the One Piece anime is available on Netflix at the same time, right? So just as a fun experiment, I'm like, well, let's pop that bad boy on. And guess what? That was pretty much almost a one. I wouldn't say one. It was extremely close to what I saw. Now I haven't watched all the anime. I haven't watched all of it, but it seemed pretty close. So it didn't surprise me that this thing was getting so much praise because, well, it seemed to be pretty close to what the anime was dishing out. Now, do I know that we need live adaptations of everything? I don't know. Probably not. But at least it wasn't. It didn't seem like it was a Cowboy Bebop. I don't know. But all right, so let's bring now. If Wheel of Time did anything even close to that, you'd probably have a little bit more goodwill. But we already know that's gone way off freaking the deep end. Yeah, Nan, what's up? Chris, how are
How's it
you?
going? Good. You?
Oh,
Well, besides the sickness.
well, I'm starting to get over it finally. So I've been down for the count, man. I swear this show just gives me a right cross and puts me on my butt. It's got to be the show getting me sick.
The ending of season 1 of One Piece
Yeah.
is different than the manga, but it's taking a much later scene from like 700 chapters later and bringing it forward.
Okay.
But it does make sense to do that because it kind of feels in the manga like, oh shit, I should have brought in Luffy's grandpa a lot sooner into the story.
Oh, okay. So all that stuff happens later.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you look, but those are things like those are the things you change to.
Yeah, and it was under with Oda's
right.
permission.
It's like those are the sort of things that we were like, okay, if you're gonna make some changes in Wheel of Time, okay, we know you got to make some of those changes to try, right? So I can't I don't want to go off on a One Piece thing. I know Zax is talking about it Wednesday. I think I might be on there after the Unhype tomorrow talking about it, but it's just good. I mean, I had fun with it. I enjoyed it, and like whether I hope it's from what I saw, it was pretty faithful. It was at least paying a lot of nods to it. I don't know if it's how faithful.
It is faithful.
So
it is faithful.
So you actually watched it?
Yeah, I watched all the One Piece. I watched it 1 to 8. I binged the whole goddamn thing, man.
Wow.
I'll say this about how faithful it is. It cuts characters like Richie the Lion, the octopus sword guy and stuff, but it maintains the same arcs and it hits all like the proper beats. There's a couple things that are changed, like when Mihawk kills that pirate with the cannon shoulder. Well, in the manga, like Luffy fights him outside of the restaurant.
Okay.
And then Mihawk shows up. So they kept that the same. It's just in a slightly different.
Well, I mean, but that kind of makes sense. I mean, like so like there's thousands. Like what? How many episodes of One Piece are there? There's a ton, right?
Over 1,000.
Over 1,000.
There's over 1,000. Yeah.
Right. So
it's like 1048.
So how could like you gotta have to make some of the changes, right? And so it sounds like what they've done is they've paid off. They've done a lot of the right stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anybody that knows the anime will know better than me. All I know is, unlike the Wheel of Time, I don't know it, and I watched it, and I was pulled right into it, and then to the point where it's like, well, maybe I should watch the anime too, because if it's close.
The anime has a ton of filler. So when they originally started it,
well,
like
this is we're not going to go on a One Piece debate.
There is filler, yes, but it's some of it is more bearable than others. I'll put it that way.
There's very little filler in the anime. It just feels like it because it's just like
there's a whole arc that I tried watching it and I didn't get far in because after they pick up Sanji in like the anime, they go off and there's like this whole ship battle thing that just doesn't happen in the manga.
G5 is also a filler arc.
Yeah.
Well,
G5 is unofficial canon because most of the fans of the
it'll be interesting to see more because obviously season 2 has been announced, so we'll see where they go. But I just they're doing a lot of things right. I think that was my point. Is just even though there's changes, they're doing a lot right.
But they wanted to do a lot of things wrong. I don't know if you guys followed this. They wanted to do a lot of things wrong for this show. The reason One Piece is successful, the reason Reacher was successful, the reason the Turtle is successful is because the creator has executive control over the whole franchise.
Yeah, no, I did hear that too. Is he wouldn't let him fuck with it?
Yeah, but I think we should give more credit to the creators. The guy, the lead writer, Matt Owens, is a legitimate One Piece fan. He is very active in the community. He's done interviews with One Piece YouTubers. He's talked at the Reverie. And he is very much, this is made by true fans. So yes, Oda being involved was big, but this was made by fans, and you can tell.
Well, I'm
the
not
other
sure
thing
about
is
that, because
the actors and actresses are also fans. Like all of them have watched or read the manga except for Nami.
Well,
so there's like that element to it too.
I've seen Oda saying that they kept asking for changes, significant ones. He kept saying no romances, none of this, none of that, none of that.
No. Hey, no. A lot of those were ones he put in himself before they even started. Like he told Netflix straight up, if we're going to do this, no romances. The backstories have to be the same. Otherwise, I'm not even going to authorize you to do this.
They did change some things, like the kiss for Usopp and what's her name? But like
Well,
that
kind
doesn't
of.
happen. But it's like it's such a minor thing that still fits within the story that it doesn't impact anything.
I'm just saying. I know
No.
all I know is the original creators involved, and whether whatever. It looks like the thing it's adapting. That is my point. But I don't want to go down go down the One Piece rabbit hole too far. But there's stuff obviously to talk about there, which is cool, which is great, and it's not negative. It's mostly like details about what is being changed here and there and this and that, right? So,
Yep.
I'm not, you know,
Well,
it's always going to be able to debate why it's where it's at, but it is what it is, and I do think that the creator being involved heavily is
Yeah.
probably a big part of that. So
I will say, it's kind of funny. It's One Piece is so good that a show meant to be talking about Wheel of Time
what is
Oh,
is
God.
talking about One Piece instead.
The reason I have this
Yeah,
screen
that's true.
grab here is to show off the ring that we could see on Land.
the sling
How
ring?
it's on him, and then if we move over to Latra, we can see it also on her hand.
So
that
what the hell
scene
are these?
is the most offensive scene in this whole show.
So wait.
I suspect that
Yeah.
they're rings that depict that they're Aes Sedai from the Age of Legends, but the thing is, the Forsaken hate them.
They hate Aes Sedai of the Age of Legends. Why would they? Why like? Oh God! If that is that really what they? You know what? You're probably absolutely right. That's what they are.
She's
Every-
wearing like
I
a
can't-
leisure suit. I never even noticed that I hated this scene so much.
One thing I
And
will. Sorry,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, I was going to say, is it ever does Jordan in the books? I can't remember. I don't think he ever describes the Forsaken as wearing Aes Sedai rings. I don't think so. Does he?
But they don't.
The
because
only
they
one
hate
who
Aes
does
Sedai.
is it's spoiler territory, so I won't mention it. But there is one who does, but it's because she's in disguise.
Yeah, that's the only
Oh.
reason. Like
Um,
the Forsaken have outright showed they mock this age's Aes Sedai. They hate
Yeah,
them.
they call them
think
the
they're
so-called
joke.
Aes Sedai.
There would be no reason they would affiliate with them whatsoever, or yeah. And Lanford straight up said like anytime that she's like Aes Sedai are mentioned in her scope of hearing, she is disgusted and just how beneath they are.
Well-
Quite frankly, beneath her.
I think Cimarar calls them children. I think Cimarar calls them children.
That's
Oh, yeah.
one of the biggest changes from the book to the show that's not getting talked about enough. As powerful as some of the Forsaken are, like relative to, say, Rand or whatever, the big thing that they had is all the lost knowledge they possessed of how to use the one power. And none of that's being shown in this show. They're not doing anything much different with the one power than the so-called good guys are. I don't know how many you got to call them good guys anymore. But, like, they're just doing the same sort of stuff, blasting people or whatever. You know what I mean? Like when Lanfear got on the horse, like she just used it as a whip. You telling me there isn't even one ability?
Lyle.
Hey, have we seen any of the Forsaken use compulsion this season?
We
Yeah,
just
I
had
think so.
people state it.
Lyle, can you turn down your mic a smidge? You're a little hot compared to us. That's just if you can turn it down just a little bit, that'd be awesome.
All right, that better?
Let me chat will let us know. We'll see as we're going. Let us know, chat, how Lyle is compared to the rest of us. Elena, you missed Landfear of Mars, the beginning of the show. You're gonna have to look at it. Landfear of Mars, we've made it. So compulsion. I feel like there was one scene where they tried to show that someone was compulsed. But
It was Varen's investigation.
But it's
He's
like
thinking
a
that Sharon
Rand
was
thing. It's not
compulsed.
shown.
Is it? Okay? I'm trying to because it's not like.
Yeah, because remember, they saw the
unfortunately, I really
handwriting was off.
Oh, is that? Oh God, the fucking. All right, okay.
But have you heard
Okay,
this
hold
one
on,
that
we got-
Nynaeve is
so-
actually a man?
Okay, wait, what?
wait, what?
What?
So we got this scene from episode 4, right? Your power is
a
I feel like
trickle,
you've been
a
saving
pinprick
up for this, you know.
by the
Have you been
candlelight
saving up for
against
this?
the raging
He's been
sun,
saying it
right?
every stream.
You know, and I feel like you've been saving up for this.
And then we have him stating the line, right? Like, she is a raging sun. But then if we go back to episode 3 of this season, we have this line from Logain, where he specifically states that he can see when another man can channel through their glow. And he says, I can see it.
Oh boy. So okay.
That's because they have.
Wow.
Is writers
So,
technically
bring-
didn't have to read the book.
I'm gonna break this down, and so let me know what you want me to. Because I feel like you have material saved up for hours, you know, and I love it.
I just picked this up like a day ago.
Well, but still, it's great. So I'm gonna break this down so we're all big. But so I guess the question for me is with that. If I threw my thing here, is that just because I'm going with Airworm? Okay, who's on here thinks that was just stupid? We can't keep track of what we've said lines wise of the show. We have no idea what we're saying.
I
We
think
just
it's
messed it
different
up,
writers.
or do we think that who thinks it's a mess up in their plot in their story, or who thinks Nynaeve is a man? I think it's a mess up, but I can totally see
Link just mess up.
Well, we know they messed up the choreography of Perrin's wife dying so badly that people thought she was a dark friend.
Dark friend, yeah.
And I have a feeling they're going to change it so that she is a dark
God.
friend. Because in the original script, she dies. The actress said she wasn't a dark friend. She was jealous of Egwene. And when asked Rafe, I can't find the tweet or where he said it, but he was surprised people thought she was a dark friend and wanted to know why we thought that, because he was confused.
She was just raising an axe over her husband, who was like standing, like
she wasn't a dark
like
friend. She just
ground.
wanted to kill her husband because he wanted to sleep with his best friend's girl.
Oh my
Is
God! We're all the way
regardless-
back in episode 1. Oh, I can't go back, guys.
Aaron was asking
can't
her
go
a
back.
question. She didn't have the good answer.
The thing
So real
is
quick,
like,
no.
regardless though
Yeah, but-
of like whether or not it's a mistake, doesn't change the fact that what they've shown then becomes canon or whatever you would call it within the show's continuity.
Oh no, you're not wrong.
Yeah,
Like that.
You're right.
You're absolutely right. They messed it up. Like it's on screen. They put it out there. They messed it up. So technically, Nynaeve is a man. I am curious if they actually are going to do something where she is, or if that is like if this was intentional or unintentional. I think is where
Well,
I'm
there's
getting.
still no difference in the show between the two halves of the power. It's still just one power
Yeah.
that they all tap.
Yeah, but
Yep.
Still mentioned Saiyadin.
Didn't he say man? I can see when a man can channel.
Yes.
Yes.
So
He
he gendered
specifically
it
stated
himself.
that.
He said
So-
he had
so-
a gift for it.
So while you're right, Matt, they haven't gendered the power. He specifically said man, not women, and not I can see when somebody's channeling. He said when a man can channel, he can
Yeah.
sense it.
But
No,
they made
I
it so that
totally
that's his
get that.
Teviran gift.
Oh no, I know.
instead.
I'm just I'm just playing it out because it's one of those. It's
This-
just bad writing.
No, no.
Or-
This
or-
I think what it is the people who are writing these episodes don't even read what the people writing the other episodes are writing.
Oh, well, that's true too. I mean, they're idiotic. But hold on. So I'm losing. Okay, so I need. What do you want? Was Aslan not? No, come back.
So what's funny
feel
about
like Tom
those
hasn't
those
brought
screen
it.
grabs though is I was on r/Wheel of Time show, right?
Oh, why?
And I presented those to somebody, and he was like full on cope. He's like, "You photoshopped them, you've taken them and made them all wrong," and I'm like, "Dude, like you can
Sorry.
literally go and fact check me."
Wait, I missed it. What now?
Wait,
You
you
why
didn't
were
get
you
banned on
facing our
Reddit?
slash?
Oh yeah, I
W?
got banned out of all the channels now.
Of course. Yeah. There's
Well,
no
you
way.
But
you
I-
should wear
I
that
just-
as a badge
Were
of
you on
honor.
a White Cloak? Like
What
when
happened?
White Cloaks was active there, we all got banned. Instantly, you joined White Cloak from every other Wheel of Times forum on the whole site. It's like
Well, Daisy, dude, they didn't think about that, and you know because I don't stop asking questions. God damn it! I don't. It doesn't make any. None of it makes any sense. The more you break this down, like I cannot wait for seriously, the White Cloaks rewatch of this thing. It's going to take fucking months because it's just a jumbled mess of shit. It's like okay. So before we move on, I just because we brought it up already. All right, so just let me get through this, okay? Because I want you guys to correct me if I'm misunderstanding this, because I haven't watched any of these back yet, like for reals. Like I sort of watched it back, but I need to watch it back. But just tell me if I'm misunderstanding this plot point, okay? So we have Varen, okay, who is trying to figure out what has happened to the girls. So she meets up with photo rememberer Choi Chow, Choi Chang, sorry. Uh, and they hatched the plan for her to sneak into Shiriam's office to take a photographic image of the novice book to look at the writing, not steal the paper to look at the writing. She takes an image of it, then she goes back and she writes it down only to find that one Y or something is squiggly, and that is confirmation of shittery in the White Tower so bad that there's fucking black Aja confirmed with slanted Y. It is it's not even Shiriam's Y. It's her Y rewritten. She wrote it. She could
make sense to me. What's your problem?
It's so brilliant, man.
The only thing they had to do is, has anyone ever watched the shows where they take a piece of paper and set it on the written piece of paper, and you take a pencil or charcoal and rub it on top, and you can see the message written?
Yeah, rub it.
They just had to do that.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to defend the writing on this show. Okay, just when I say what I'm about to say. But for those of you who don't necessarily have either a photographic or borderline photographic memory, okay, I have like a borderline one, where the type of thing where at work, one of the things I do involves reviewing a lot of patient data for reports, and I could look on a spreadsheet would say 1,000 patient records, and then next month's version, I'll see. Wait a minute, something about those last two digits in that one number in the column last month. I'll remember enough to go back and
I'm not saying that's I'm not, but that's not what she did, sir. She went and she wrote it down on another piece of paper, which could have easily blown in the wind, or she could have had a sweaty palm and her Y could have slipped a little bit.
That's the flaw in the argument.
That's what it's not her going through a bunch of papers and going, oh, that zero was wrong this month. Like you're saying, like you're going through and you're noticing discrepancies. You're like, okay,
it would be like you recreating that spreadsheet based off of your memory tomorrow or like right now.
Well, there are some things I could actually do that with. Those of you who know me with Lord of the Rings or whatever, the way it just pops out of my head.
Would you condemn somebody to death by that?
The point I'm getting at is, okay, with that particular scene, they tried to make Varen look smart, and the one part of the show that I thought was like kind of a little bit okay was Varen's sort of investigation being very Varen-like. You know what I mean? Like she's always investigating stuff.
I disagree.
The way she should have been like portrayed is just having her in the room with other people talking and just having her listening. Like a pan shot showing her off in the background or whatever.
But
I agree. What I'm saying is Varen's always investigating stuff, so that's kind of how it But the reason the scene fell apart for me was because it's an ultra serious thing with compulsion and dark friends and whatever, and they're giggling over it.
There's that too, yeah.
You got Tyrion Lannister in the background.
It's like, oh, Black Aja confirmed. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
The other thing, though,
I'm sorry. The other thing about all of this that really just annoys me: why are they having Varen look for them? Varen would not care about the fact that the three girls have missed.
She cares more about the dragon than the girls.
Yes, she cares about the dragon.
About the girls only because some mysterious force caused it, and she doesn't like to have stuff unaccounted for.
Be careful. Be careful. We have book readers that have now passed Dragon Reborn, so be careful. Very sensitive subject, but Varen wouldn't give a shit. You're right. But they have to give it. But again. It's another one of these things, these continuity things, where we're supposed to, like, we obviously know the person they hired for continuity was, they paid her and then said, go to the beach on Mars with Lanfear and wait till it's her turn to show up, because there's no continuity anywhere. Like, you make Varen, you make Varen Van Dien to get her into the show early. You don't put her with Rand, so now you've screwed her up. Just like you screwed up Perrin, just like you screwed up Matt, just like you screwed up Perrin.
They've also screwed up the twins.
Right. Sisters. Right. So the Annalise and Van Dien storyline is gone, unless Well, no, I don't know. They may just.
The thing is they're so old they don't go anywhere without each other. That's all they have left in this world is each other, and so that's why they go everywhere together, even though they're different Ajas.
Yeah, and honestly, another issue that I had with the Varen scene is the fact that why are we being introduced to this character with photographic memory like halfway through the second season? It's just a plot device.
Because they're trying to introduce a Sherlock Holmes type element, where he has the photographic memory, and they're trying to make Varen be basically Watson.
You know what?
Yeah, it's like
Varen in this show reminded me of if they took Andrea Landry from Murder, She Wrote and put her in an episode of like Law and Order, like where it's ultra serious in Law and Order, but it was comedic. Mm-hmm. She wrote,
No, I don't disagree with that. It goes back though to sort of what somebody, I think it was Gary from Nerdrotic said about Opla, is that you got to take the world serious and have the actors take it serious to convey that verisimilitude, and they are not doing that here.
I think they know the show is garbage, and they're just milking their paychecks because they know it's garbage.
What I don't get is Varen obviously noticed that Shuriam was confused and stuff when she was going over it. Why not just say, would it be all right if I doved you to make sure you're feeling all right? And you could have had to record it so that you could Varen could find out that way that she's had compulsions on her.
It would also introduce delving. It would introduce a healing element.
Shuriam is the worst mistress of novice ever. She doesn't punish anybody. She lets novices leave the tower. She has no reign over anybody. Nobody learns anything. Nobody comes to her to get punished. She's terrible. She's terrible.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I don't disagree, because the first time we saw her in her office there with that novice that just stops dusting when Varen walks in, and it's like, no, you're a novice. You will continue to clean until told otherwise.
Yeah, she should be a lot more imposing. But again, we've made a choice here. Instead of making Aes Sedai look beautiful, ageless, handsome, whatever you want to, they're not all beautiful, but some of them are handsome as they put them, looking young. Instead of doing that, we have made them all old and crotchety and just tired. And
we made them the denizens of a women's studies college.
It's literally a soap opera. I mean, I've said it again and again, but if you watch, Days of Our Lives or something like that, this is how the characters act.
Yasuka! Sorry. Yes, God, man, she's in it more, isn't she? She's got a few more scenes in the next 2 episodes, doesn't she? Holy crap, man.
I don't get why they're fleshing out all of these side characters when we still know next to nothing about the main 5.
So,
because it's about all of them.
That too.
Sorry.
Sorry. No, I'm reading some of the private chat too. I'd like once we're done discussing episode 5 and beyond, we could take a look at episode 6 preview for sure. But God, I lost my train of thought. Sorry, this is gonna happen. I'm just getting over being sick. So if I lose my train of thought, I'm sorry. But become a member. How about that? I remember that.
Yeah, I guess we could talk about Moraine killing a dude again.
Oh my God!
They've turned her into the most evil characters.
Does she have the highest body count?
I think she might.
She might.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a horse.
She killed Pips.
She killed Pips.
Well, but she also set up the other woman to be killed.
That's what I'm saying. No, I put both those deaths on her.
Yeah. I don't quite put the guy on her because she has no control over that. That's on the show.
The guy was bad blood.
But the young woman, that was definitely on her.
Yeah, the
there's
fat
an
woman is
argument
on
for
her.
it to not be the woman, to not be Moiraine's fault, because Moiraine told her to ride all the way to Tarvaerlin and race and don't stop. And the woman stops, and then she gets caught up by Lanfear.
I mean, she salvaged with like 4 horses, though.
But did you think Lanfear was going to stop? I don't think so.
To be fair, the fat woman probably would have died regardless of what she had done, but like she should have taken all 4 horses, 2 for each of her, like Rand and Moiraine. So halfway they could swap to fresh horses and cover double the distance.
Yeah, she should have the money on her because her money was never from Tarvaer.
She went to a robe first. She was,
and it would also open up an opportunity to show Lanfear actually torturing information.
But here's the problem, guys. All of this is irrelevant. Lanfear can travel.
There you go.
The fact that they use horses is.
In fact, she has 6 forms of traveling available to her.
Yeah, at best, I've seen some people say like, "Oh, she doesn't know the location.
Yeah,
it's her freaking cottage. It's her cottage, but she doesn't know it well enough to travel." Yeah,
it only takes minutes while channeling to learn an area.
Also, opening the gateway to an area increases the time, or rather decreases the amount of time you need.
Well, she doesn't care if she's cutting trees in half either.
That's not even like a good argument. You could open the gateway, hold it open, step through, look around, and be like, "Oh, they aren't here." Step back in, open a new one.
Or I don't know. She is in charge of this dream world.
Also, Moiraine thought she took care of all the horses by killing the 1 horse and then riding off on the 3. Why did she get off and wait for Lanfear to ride past? Did she know that there was a 5th horse?
Well,
I mean, Steps brings up a good point in chat. I mean, how did Lanfear not know that Moiraine has a tell?
That's true. Moiraine does have a tell. I totally forgot about her tell. It's lucky Nynaeve wasn't around. They'd be dead for sure, right? I mean, good lord. Holy crap! Yeah, no, like you're right. Skip. There's a million other tools. So here's. I think that's why Lyle. It's the point with. I think probably all of us would make over anything. Whether she's at fault for this, that, the other. Lanfear not skimming, traveling, using some sort of other transportation to catch up with them. It inherently weakens her. Like so now, traveling either isn't a thing, or she's just an idiot. So what is?
And if traveling's not a thing, that is going to have big repercussions for a lot of plots.
They've already done it in episode 5 of season 1. Yes, it was tied to the Tyrion grill, but in their like screen grab thingies before the episode or after it or whatever, they literally listed as a traveling Tyrion grill.
Yeah, but then with the same argument we have about Logain's power. First he could see male channelers, and he could see, all the
inconsistencies are crazy. There's what you say. There's so many inconsistencies all over the damn place that you can't.
But they're not okay. So they have it for a Tangrel, but they're not going to have. I don't think they're going to have a person be able to travel. I just think they're not going to because.
But see,
they've already been doing it though.
They have. Ishmael has to be traveling. He has to be. There's no other way for him to make up the ground that he's made. I mean, he's with Suroth. He's with Min. He's with
the one with Min though might have been a dream.
That's a good
even
point,
though they
actually,
made that stupid statement about meeting someone in the attic.
So the show has established that Lanfear can use the true power, and true power traveling is just instant teleportation. So there's even less reason why she shouldn't be able to travel.
All right.
Yeah, she's using the truth power. I forgot that she's using the true power.
Yeah, because
I guess being dead is a good reason to use the true power, right? Because beginning everybody could use it. They just use it sparingly until a certain nameless showed up.
I mean, I think they can only use it if the Dark One like gives them access to it.
Yeah, it's tied to what do they call it? Mabel. Yeah.
Well, I think it's not something they want to use.
It made them crazy. Like it so whatever. It's stupid. It's stupid. None of them liked using it at all, except for one guy. That's it.
Because it was completely it put stuff in your eyes that lasted forever.
Highly addictive.
And it was very painful to use.
Yep. All of it.
I feel like they I don't know. I saw people also on Reddit arguing about the scene where like, oh, she didn't decapitate him, so the land fight will still be able to work. And it's like, well, that still just makes Moraine look terrible.
What they'll probably do is power rot weapons can kill them, or anything made by the one power can kill them.
I'm pretty sure they've already confirmed that Rand's blade is power rot.
The fact that it is. Oh my god, dude! Are they
Don't make it so it's just balefire.
Wait, she stabbed Lanford with Rand's sword.
Yes, Rand's sword. She stabbed him with his sword.
Through the heart. Slit her throat with it too. Yeah, both. Yeah.
Why does she even have a knife if she isn't going to use her own?
Can we talk about?
She has the back scabbard.
He just keeps stealing Rand's.
Daisy Dude's still here, right? Daisy Dude. So I tried to see the image you posted on Twitter. Did anybody see the thing he posted about people are cheesing themselves over Moraine's back harness for her knife?
It looks so dumb. It's a knife.
So Rand carries a sword on his hip, and it's like such a small thing. It's like, why isn't he carrying it on his hip? Back scabbards are not like traditionally like they've been used on some weapons, but according to Shad, they are not efficient.
Even with his homemade version, which, interesting enough, the show does use the proper the back scabbards as Shad described. So I think someone on the crew in season 1 actually watched Shad before he shat on the show.
Sorry, I had to blow my nose. What happened? What did I miss?
I was just talking about how Shad ripped apart their back scabbards in season 1.
Oh god,
because of their inefficiency. Although he did say that Land's back scabbard kind of made sense because he has a little twisting motion to lock it in place so that it doesn't fall out.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, I saw him talk about that too. Jay, so Yasuka, real quick. Yasuka Kalek is all right. How do we put this? Yes, she's completely made up, but I guess not completely made up. She is mentioned once in one book, in one of Brandon Sanderson's books, as he added somebody. I forgot exactly for what was it, contest winner or something.
Isn't it a quote?
She's actually not a character even in the book. It's quoted and her name is used. That's it. So in my book, yes, it's a completely made up character because you're mentioned
like every
once.
Other thing. Everything in this show is made up of one-liner things taken out of context.
Yes,
literally everything. And if someone can show me something that doesn't follow this, you know.
Oh no, it's all over the place, right? It's just like one-liners, and then we drop 5 prophecies and make it and act like it means something. But real quick, I want to get to Mark Clark. I also want to. I see Fufu Trip is in chat. Thank you for being here, Trip. I saw Nathan, Madam Manethrin. I saw Salty here somewhere. I'm not sure if you guys are still here. Thanks for being here, guys. Always a pleasure, guys. Son of Jockster's here. I know that Royal was here too, and I also saw Alex. I know Alex is getting ready for some videos and stuff. So thank you guys all for being here. And Daisy Dude, Hangry Sasquatch, good to see you. Aldan is still rocking it. Elena's here. Toby, how did I say Toby's again? How did I miss you, man? What's up, Toby? How are you, man? Good to see you. And Mark Clark for $4.99 to help pay for the migraine meds caused by the show. Thank you very much, Mark. And hail, Jacob. How are you, sir?
Maybe it's
you know why Moraine has the shoulder dagger or back dagger?
so she can feel like a man?
No, she's stealing it from Matt.
What?
Ooh.
Back deck? Wait.
Well, no, because
Matt
needs to go
like,
to the
in
hardware
book 4,
department,
right?
and
When
get
he
glue.
enters a certain
That's what I'm
area.
requiring right now.
Hold on, you guys talk to each other one at a time.
He needs to get glue. Oh, you go
Okay.
first. Yeah.
What I was saying about Matt's daggers is when he enters a certain place in book 4, he starts removing daggers, right? He pulls out of his back, he pulls from his sleeve, he pulls from his hips, and he pulls out like, what is it, like 7 or 8 daggers?
Yeah,
and so they're pulling and taking it away, and then they can be like, Moraine showed him where to put the daggers.
Wait, so
because she's also had a dagger in her sleeve, dagger between her shoulder blades.
Shoulder holster? Come on. Come on. Like it's the stupidest.
That is stupid enough. I could see them doing that.
Do you realize that I have never, ever, 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 ever in any show period seen anybody be stupid enough to give a dagger that long a shoulder holster?
You're gonna stab yourself in the back.
Thing is usually you don't show it because it's supposed to be a hidden dagger that is
Right.
like not seen.
She's been using that. She's been using it all. Like put it here. Like it's but it's even if they're a shoulder holster, it's like underneath and you can grab it quick or something. It's not sticking up like a sheath for a sword. It's like no, it's just wrong and stupid. And also, why does Moraine have a? Well, we all know because she can't channel anymore because plot. Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Also, if she was really shielded, shouldn't Rand be able to see the shield on her and be like, "Hey, you're glowing for some reason"?
The weaves could be inverted. To be fair,
men don't see the
any of
glow.
that stuff yet.
Do men even in the books see like other weaves, or do they
Yes.
only feel them and sense the weaves?
No, they see other weaves. They don't see a glow, but they can sense it, and they see other weaves.
They can see
They
the
just don't
5
see a glow.
colors and anything that's actually being woven. That's how they teach each other. But they can't see. The only time they can tell if another man's a channeler is if they do the test or if he's holding Sidon and they feel an ominous presence. But apparently during the Age of Legends, men couldn't even sense other men having the one power. It's only because of the taint that they can sense each other. I don't know if that plot. I think that plot point gets dropped in later books, but early on it was something like during the Age of Legends, men couldn't even sense other men holding the one power, holding Sidon in them.
Well, I mean, there's ways to. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's important at this point, but it's one of those like, even if that's the case, in the Age of Legends, there were weaves to stop people from knowing you're channeling anyway. So I mean, they were skilled enough they could just block everybody from detection if they wanted.
Let me ask a question of everyone on here. This show is terrible. We all know it. It's terrible.
I know.
That's a statement, not a question.
No, here's the question. Here's the question. And this is a thought experiment. Is there any way to salvage this show for next season?
Not anymore.
There are 2 ways to do it. 2 ways.
Matt coming in hot. Okay, let's go, Matt.
I already said one of them, but I thought of another one. So Rand could get the Choden Kal and Balefire backwards from the first 3 seasons.
Ooh, that could work, actually. The Choden, I didn't think about the Choden Call. He could Balefire himself back to being born. That could be
Season 3 opens showing the Luz Theron, the real Luz Theron prologue, right, with Dragon Mount. And then you see Moraine waking up saying, I had a horrible dream about all this crazy crap we did, leaving the dragon behind, and I was using a dagger and some stupid backsheath, and then just riding the 2 rivers right after that. That's the only 2 ways they could save this.
Wait, James Conn in El Dorado has a back holster? Well, that's stupid too. Is that what you're saying, John? I don't know. So there's one other stupid show. Sorry.
I forget your first way, but I think another way they could do it is if the end of this series second season is it reveals that everything we've seen up to now has just been flicker.
Yeah, but I still think that is a little bit, that ship sailed.
So who could they balefire to get it all erased?
They can't, because if they were to balefire that much of the
Moraine.
pattern, it would unravel
Moraine!
it. And
No, Moraine! If he's chosen called Moraine, we're in business.
Well, no, Rand will have to balefire himself because he's the dragon, and the pattern needs a dragon. So if he balefires himself,
he's the dragon reborn.
Yeah.
Dragon reborn.
The threat of the dragon. Well, we're not going to go down that.
They've already done the dragon reborn, because that's what they're calling Rand.
Yeah,
didn't they call Luceren the Dragon Reborn again in this episode?
Yes, they did.
Okay,
they still don't realize
they
that
doubled
Luceren
down
is the dragon.
Well,
Luceren
no.
Dragon.
He was known as the dragon. Just to be clear about the books, the dragon is the soul, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
Within the context of the books, though, this is the first timeline.
Yeah, the champion of the light is reborn, but he's not always called the dragon.
Well, the first time he was called the dragon was as Luceren, but the soul is always the dragon. It's a weird thing when, like, you as a fan, you know something where the books have to explain a different way.
Well, yeah. So it ties back into Birgitta, the one who I use to counter everyone's argument of this is a new turning, is the fact that she goes through details of her life and she talks about how she's lived thousands of different lives, and very rarely is she ever known as Birgitta.
Right.
She has 1,000 different names. It's all the same person, but different names.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
I have a question.
So hold on. So Tron lives. Thanks for being here. Surely I can't be the only one praying that there will be a third season of this crap. I think we are all right there with you, praying alongside you, and hopeful that the writer's strike continues forever, to the point where they just have to hire all new scab writers from colleges where they actually have writing classes or something. Well, maybe not colleges, but places with writing classes where people actually do writing to actually make shows. But sorry, go ahead, Lyle. What was your question, sir? Didn't mean to interrupt.
No, we know that there's going to be 8 Forsaken in the show, right? I think that's been confirmed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, do we know the 8 that are going to be in this show? Have they given us any hint?
Yes.
They mentioned Mogideon and Graendal.
So we know Lanfear, Mogideon, and Graendal.
So go ahead, Yolande. Yeah, so we know Mogideon and Graendal for sure. Go ahead, Yolande.
And Lanfear. And then we know Ishamael, and then Lanfear also mentioned the other boys.
So, but I also want to point out we know who we already know who's not going to be in it. Okay, like just from elimination. So we already know that Bothamal and Agnor are not going to be in it.
I do want to conjecture that they probably won't entirely get rid of, because isn't Agnor the one who comes back as?
No, it's Bothamal.
Yes.
Bothamal is
what I'm trying to get at is they're going to combine that with someone, because they aren't going to drop that.
Well, they'll combine with somebody, but it's getting a little late they're just going to have, like, that's the thing. That person, Agnor needs to die for that to happen, or they're just going to.
They aren't going to do that. They're just going to roll it out because Well,
but
they'll do it with Ishii when he dies at the end.
Oh God! Don't, we got people that haven't got that far. Stop. But so okay. So let's just play this out. So we know. So real quick. So Ishii, Lanfear, Mogadeen, Grendel. We know for sure. Now. Who do we know are eliminated or being melted into others? Well, we know Asmodean is gone.
What about Raven?
That's being given to. I think Raven will exist just for a lot.
So the ones who I think will exist are Robin.
Guys, let's not talk over each other, okay? Because we know. So we know that. So Mogideon, Grendel, Lanfear, Ishii. We know that there's not going to be Asmodean because we have Loghain. We know that there's not. Well, I shouldn't say we know, but we can probably say that Semirong is going to be melded into somebody else, like was so brought out earlier by I think was
Lanfear.
What was her name? Well, I'm actually. I think right now they've given most of her stuff to Ishmael. If you think about it, Ishmael is now. I mean,
Yeah,
Ishmael's
because of
basically
where he is, but
yeah.
I don't want to get into spoilers. So
Yeah, but yeah, so Lanfear or Ishmael are gonna end up with Cimarron stuff. So that's two eliminated out of the 13. I think you're right. Agnor and Balthamol are probably more Agnor than Balthamol because of what you've already stated, because of not him, but because of what happens to him. It's probably going to be melded into somebody else, or they may mix Balthamol, Balal, Agnor, and together and make one super Forsaken out of the three of them. But I think you have to have Ravid for Camelin with Eladia. Wait,
Or
Elida,
Elida.
Elida. I got it again. Sorry, Elida and with Morgaze. So
Have they even
Ravid.
cast
So
Morgaze?
they
I
also
assume you
keep
let
They
me.
Samuel.
mentioned
Hold
it.
on.
One at a time, guys.
Have they cast Morgaze or even hinted that she's in the story?
Casted Morgaze.
Yes, they have
She
reference.
got
They've
mentioned.
casted Morgaze and they've now casted Elida.
Okay.
So regarding the Forsaken, on those stone sigils that represent their prisons or whatever, there are 8 symbols, which clearly correspond to the 8 that are going to be in the show. Plus, they had those 8 jars. Remember in the first season?
So Matt. I've had people tell me this. Those symbols look like gobbledygook to me. So
Hey,
did
hey,
somebody
hey.
decipher them?
Based on the
Some
information
of
we've
them
got
are.
now, I think those symbols. Remember how I said the one that looked like a vag is probably Grendel or whatever? She's
Could
been
be.
confirmed now to be in the show. So like,
Well, we knew the Power Women were going to be in it, but Matt, like, did somebody like actually decipher those, or did you? Because
I never went looking. I figured someone on White Cloaks would dive into it because who care
because I
more
don't
about
think
it than
they
I do.
indicate. I think you're right. That's what they're supposed to do, but I don't think they indicate shit. Like, if I'm being real, like it just looks like a bunch of like crap to me. But
Can I say
I
something?
think some of them,
yes,
like,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think that they're gonna fuse Ravine and Samael and maybe even Damon Dread all into one character, to be completely honest.
I think they may just get rid
Hmm.
of I think Demandred could be on the chopping block because, well,
I don't know. Because people like Damon Dread, so I think he'll be in the show. But I think it's more likely he gets fused with like Samael or someone.
people like Randall Thor, Staple.
Well, he's still in the show. He's just ruined.
no. Like combining Demondred and Samael could work because their motivations are similar. Demondred is like the rival of Lucerne, and Samael always comes in second place.
But what? Let me just play devil's advocate here. And anybody that has not read past any of our early book readers, just give us a minute here because we're gonna get into some deep book stuff here. Why even bother? Because Demandred is in the wind for most of the series until the end. He until he pops up where he pops up. I'll still try and be freaking obtuse. Why not just get rid of them? Like
Well,
let Samuel do. I mean, you're right. A lot of their motive, but why do you need to have Demandred in there at all?
they hinted early on before the first season premiered on one of the Dusty World episodes. They basically hinted that they were going to, in the book, spoiler for the books. Originally, Taim was supposed to be Diamondred in disguise, but Robert Jordan didn't like how heavy-handed he
show up. He was a helpful aid. Heavy book spoilers.
Didn't like how heavily he foreshadowed it, and everyone guessed it, so he changed it. But what they hinted at was combining Taim with him in the story.
Well,
So
I'll say this: I don't know if the thing about him changing it because people guessed it is true. I know he changed it, but I don't know if that's actually the reason why he did it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do have a counter though to that argument or whatever about the whole thing, because some people point out to the specific line where he, I think he references something about like Rand's like heritage or something when he says so-called Aiel, And to me, the like counter to that is that Taim is actually a lieutenant of Demondred's. And so he gave him that information to throw loose Theron, or rather the dragon, off of his what would you call it, scent or tail.
Mhm.
I think it's
That
just,
makes sense.
So I don't. The main reason, and then we'll get off book spoilers here. The main reason I feel like that Demandred was tame is because there's no reason for him to be in Shara. Like it's just like he's just off in Shara doing whatever, and then Shara gets introduced at the end of the series. I just don't. It just seemed like we spent no time there, and then all of a sudden it's introduced. It just seemed like odd to me, but. Whereas
Hey, I have a question.
The perfect place for Demandred to be sowing chaos, like the Lord of Chaos wants, is right in the Black Tower. Fucking thing. So,
do we think Masara's going to stay as a Forsaken?
No, she was not named.
Who?
Masana.
Yeah.
AKA Masara.
Oh. Masara.
Nope, she's gone.
They're not going to have her in the show?
No, because the only women in the show of the Forsaken are Lanfear, Grendel, and Mogideon.
That's weird. I thought they'd keep her in. That's really weird.
Considering it's someone's big victory to beat her.
They're going to probably combine Mogideon with Masana.
Yeah, I was going to say the exact same thing. Because Mogideon, they don't want her to be as weak and timid as she comes off as, so they'll put her...
Also,
plus Lanfear is now Queen of Tar, so they have to take that away from Mogideon, since she is actually the champion of Tar. But
wait, what?
Well, no, like you were saying that last week. Lanfear has always considered herself.
She has considered herself. Yes, that doesn't make it.
And
true.
So it still fits with her claiming the title.
Fit. I'm not saying it doesn't fit. She has given herself that title, yes, absolutely. But Mogideon is the best in Tar.
The only reason I think that the Masana Mogideon line will be combined is because they have similar arcs in who they interact with.
Mogideon.
I'm only in book 7. So.
Look, I think other question, guys.
Yeah,
the whole storylines with the Forsaken each kind of taking over a kingdom and whatever. Are they even going to do that?
No.
Well, let's see here. Hold on, let me play this out. So you still got Ravine. So Ravine's in Camelin. You still got Samuel. Samuel's in Ilion. Tyr we've eliminated, so it doesn't matter. Tyr doesn't exist.
No, Ilion doesn't exist.
Yeah, it does. They already talked.
I guess they have, because they showed it with
And they told Bail Domon to go to Ilion for the Hunt of the Horde.
Okay, so they have mentioned it.
But even if the place exists, do you think they're really going to do the whole storyline with them running all these kingdoms? I don't think so. I don't think. Yeah. I don't think they are either. Storytelling.
Guys, give me a second. Don't get me kicked off YouTube. I'll be right back.
Everyone, party now.
Like, hey, no, I don't disagree. Like, if that's one thing that they could have cut down on, is remove a couple of countries, right? And it would have been fine. But what they've done doesn't really work.
Yeah, they could have just had a couple of the countries that collapse in on themselves at the beginning of them due to one of the false dragons coming up and starting the civil war in the country.
Yeah, you could have Mirindi and Gildan be combined. You could, in theory, combine Kandor and Arafel.
True.
And you could probably even, in theory, combine Tyr and Ilion.
I don't think they need to do that, though. I mean, there's ways, assuming they had done this correctly, right? And therefore, whether 13 episodes aired, 13 episodes aired, and only not even 10% of the actual book content was in those episodes. You know what I mean? They could have. You had more book content, given us more stuff in the book, as it were, and still had the kingdom existing, but not necessarily do the full detailed storylines where, where Rand goes essentially from city to kingdom, dealing with a Forsaken, and
Yeah, well, I was just
but they
thinking
haven't built
along.
the world. That's the problem. They haven't built this world, so you can't do that right now.
I think my thing is I am kind of maybe in a little cope because I'm trying to fix logically what they've already established. You know how they're trying to do book 2 and 3.
it can't
Like,
be fixed though.
it would have been like Falma would have been where the Stone of Tyr is, and we would have had Calendar there, right? And that's what I'm trying to get at is like they could have done it if they had collapsed countries and shifted some things around.
What I would have done is have Rand basically doing his book. So if they're going to give Perrin Rand's plot in from book 2, then you give Rand his plot from book 3 and have him going to Tyr, and it ends up with him fighting Ishamael, and their fight ends because at one point they fight in the dream in Tar, and then they could end up in the skies over Falma fighting because
they could have even just cut all of Falma and just had the Shanshan show up later in their Altaran arc.
There's an interview I want to say on IMDb from a couple weeks ago where Rafe explained why he changed this first season, which was very Rand centric, and why he split them up and whatever. And he says that his claim that in book 2 and 3, when the characters split up, is when you started getting all of their sub arcs and developing those characters, and they did that earlier because they wanted to have those characters developing earlier. So,
but they didn't develop,
which is why Matt hasn't been this season.
In their view, that's what they did, though. You got to remember.
But they didn't develop anything. That's the problem.
Look to Opluf though for that. What happens in One Piece live action? Within the first 15 minutes, who are we know the 3 characters. We know some of their motivations already within 15 minutes of the first episode.
The fault in your assumption is you think that they think that they're like Rafe thinks his show is great. So
that's true.
You can't correct his show because he doesn't think he's doing anything wrong.
That's true too. Yeah, he thinks he's doing a wonderful job. So sorry I was gone for a minute there, but Richard Gray, thank you for being here, man. They had to do Falme because they wanted Egwene to become the best fighter.
Okay, well then remove the Falma and have the Shanshan attack Tyr and have them assault Tyr and push them out into the ocean.
Also,
because then you still have Tyr.
My issue with that is that
Falma, overall, isn't a big thing in the story. It's kind of a one-off thing. It's where Egwene does her thing, the battle in the sky. That could have all been done in Tyr.
Well, look, I'm of the. I don't think either could be cut personally, but I mean, I don't think. Look. You can say the stuff in Falme doesn't have to happen. To say we could say that the stuff in Tyr doesn't have to happen. Or I think they both need to. I think they're both equally as important. To where just if you're gonna do it, get some balls and do it. Just make it this it sounds. I can't believe I'm even saying it, but just make the stone in Falme and fucking do it. Get some balls.
Well, I was also saying that. You could even move that.
If you're gonna do it, just get some balls and do it. Put the stone in Falme and put Calendar in there and just do it. But no, you don't have the balls to do it. You're tiptoeing around. We're doing. It's all a bunch of.
It's because
BS.
There's a mystery box. There was a mystery box in first season, and in this season they got another mystery box. What is the Horn of Valir?
Yeah, they haven't even shown us they still haven't shown us. He's noticed the Horn of Valir from the box, but it's what was. I mean, come on, right? I mean, what are we doing? So real quick, if there's members, if you want, it's up in the community tab still. If you guys want to join in, let's see here. I have this. How long? Okay. I have the episode 6 preview up, so we can look at that whenever we want to. But what I want to ask real quick before we move on is, let's try it. Let's try it. Let's try it. When we hear one person's speaking, let's try and stop, and then I'll try and keep track of everybody that's talking, so we can all say what we want to say. But I want to know, because I know it's off the rails, but Stapleville, I'm going to start with you.
All right.
One prediction for episode 6. Do you have one?
All right.
If I'm putting you on the spot, I'm sorry, but
all right.
hit me with
Is episode 6 the last one with Min, or is that episode 7?
Ooh, I'd have to look that up. I think you might be right. I'll go to IMDb real quick.
Because I know she's not in episode 8.
It might be the last one for her. You could be correct. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
I missed the question. What was it?
I just asked Staplebo. I'm gonna ask you all. But I will just start with Staplebo. A prediction for what might happen in episode 6. Let me find her. What's her name again? There she is.
Kay Alexander.
She is within Eyes Without Pity. So that is. Is that the next one? I think that's the next one.
I think so. Yes.
So she's in the next one. That's it. She's done after this episode.
I wonder if they're actually going to kill her.
I see. My prediction was going to be, I think that Min is actually going to betray Matt, and so he's going to get like sent off to Falme somehow after Min betrays him. And so that'll be like the cliffhanger with her. And so Matt's goal will be to get out of Falme to go get revenge or some crap.
Okay, so what's up, Salty? How are you, man?
I'm all right. Just got back from my walk.
Nice.
Listening to you cats earlier.
Enjoy the coastal breezes.
Yeah, it's going to be lesbian-tastic, which is kind of not in the hot way. It's just going to be kind of boring and dumb, and then there are going to be characters saying shit that make Steve and I and everybody else, even vaguely familiar with the genre, pull their hair out. So.
Go, huh? Oh, what?
What is happening?
What is happening? Exactly. What is happening? How did I miss that cue? What is happening? You know, so we go right to you. You know, I want to ask all of you before we look at this. So what do you think? Episode 8. It doesn't. Or, I'm
episode 8.
No, episode 6.
Episode 6.
Sorry, I misspoke. Episode 6. No prediction is too stupid. Lanfear is on Mars. Don't forget, Lanfear is on Mars. No prediction is too stupid. What do you think?
So I don't quite know what stupid enough is going to happen with Rand and Lanfear, but I do know, because I've seen the little preview thing, we're gonna get a scene of Unbreakable Egwene assaulting her Suldam. And apparently she doesn't stop. She keeps delivering the hits even while she's receiving the backlash from them.
You're not scared enough. Stuart, you're not scared enough. Okay?
I suspect that we're going to finally get a bit of Matt and Min arriving in Cairhien, because, you know, that's why they didn't show up last episode, because they were traveling there. Because we can't actually show people traveling.
Are we taking this show seriously again? I mean, I look at the word count. Look at the word count based on character from the last episode. Look where the story's been built. Okay, it's a reasonable thing based upon data. Okay, and then remove any subject matter expertise for the books. Remember that they wanted to start this Murder, She Wrote, Varen, Cho Chow, whatever the hell it is, plot line. They have to wrap that up. And then we'll probably get crying in hallways, and then maybe like they'll torture Rand, and then it'll be a disaster. That's it. That's all we're gonna. That's the best case scenario, guys.
Well, we still need to see the proletariat uprising in Cairhien.
Of Egwene.
That's true.
It's like we use these names of characters as if the show even gives a shit what that means. Okay, and I love your
using
theories,
them to reference.
but guys, you know, like we can get anything like that. You want to see Wheel of Time? Go drive down the street, watch a dog shitting in the yard. There's going to be more Wheel of Time in that than there is on this show. Okay.
Well, I have a question. Is the actress? Because I have a prediction I'm going to make that's going to depend on who I think's in this episode.
Yeah,
is the actress for Swan? Is the actress for Swan in the next episode?
She is.
Yes, next
well, I will double check, but I'm pretty sure she is. I think she's in the next 2. I'm not sure she's even in the last one. Let me look it up for you. What's her name again?
I'm going to call it.
I got her. So Sophia. Yeah, I got her. Oops, that's not what I went to do. Yeah, she's in 6 and 7. She is not in 8.
All right. I think her and Moraine get the lesbian scene this episode.
I think she's gonna
that,
die.
That is going down.
She's gonna die.
Well, that's part of my prediction, Lyle. So
go ahead, Matt.
So I think we will get the cringiest episode of the series ever. Not only will we get more Moraine on Swan, right? We have Dream Fetish Land Fear with Rand on a torture wheel.
Yes.
Right? And we have a queen in a collar with a pacifier.
Okay. Oh, they're not going to put a pacifier on her.
No,
they're not. You can't put baby in a corner.
They casted for the Queen of Carhian.
You can bet they're going to find a way.
The Queen of Carhian, is it a man? Because it should be. Oh, sorry, my bad. Wait a second, my bad. Wait a second.
Old?
Hold up.
Dylan Mulvaney's big break. This is
you get queens. So like they're all queens.
So okay, because what I'm trying to get at isn't Barthanas trying to get married? We're totally gonna get some like raunchy scene with him, and that's why I'm asking if the queen is old, because it'll probably be another young guy screwing an old woman.
Probably, yeah.
Dude,
probably,
are we gonna get a Red Wedding ripoff? Is this show gonna do?
Oh, I don't think that's far fetched at all. I think it's gonna be like the green wedding, and they're all gonna shit out their ass till they die. It's gonna be the brown wedding. They're gonna fucking shit everywhere. And they're like, oh!
Wait, Steve, you just did more acting than I think any of that was more book authentic.
You may have seen into the mind of Rafe Judkins.
My pants.
My boom.
I mean, so here's the thing. I mean, notice. I mean, it's not like all of us are rushing to go and talk about this goddamn show again. Like, it's with each progressive episode, it is genuinely hard to do more than try and detoxify from what we saw. I spent some time trying to create some Murder, She Wrote like video things, and it's not that I don't love my subscribers, and Steve doesn't either, but this show, it's not Wheel of Time. Like, it just, there is nothing Wheel of Time about this show. You cannot put it up against a fucking thing in Jordan's lexicon. Oh, she went through the arches. Did she? You got somebody named Lanfear. Is that Lanfear? Is that Rand? I mean, guys, like, it's just I don't have words for this. It's like when this episode is done, I feel like I need a psychic like enema to get it out of me because it's terrible.
What makes it
it's
worse
terrible.
Is there's little kernels, like little hints of something, and it just causes that like your brain to start hurting because you pick up on it.
It's wishful thinking on all of our parts. In no way am I talking down to anybody, and you guys can tell me to go fuck myself. I'm speaking about me. This is the definition of codependence, where yes, she stabbed me, and yes, she banged my best friend, and yes, I caught her blowing my dad, and yes, she ran over my dog, but she remembered my birthday. But she remembered my birthday and got me an action figure. That's what the show does to fans.
Sounds like you're describing Moraine.
Okay, I'm not quite going that far. What I'm trying to get at is like how you kind of hit that cognitive dissonance where what you're seeing and what you're hearing are saying two different things. It's like they're showing a book scene, but what you're hearing is completely blowing and throwing it out the water. Or then they throw in lines from the book, and you're like, the lines are right, but what I'm seeing is completely wrong.
There are kids when we were kids in the 80s, 90s, whenever you were a kid, you said lines from movies, right? To pretend that you were Han Solo or Starbuck or whoever it was, right? The thing is in your heart, you did that to emulate what it was that you liked. This show does it to make fun of what it doesn't adapt. And to make fun of us, the book readers, like Mr. Judkins said, he is at this point just trolling us. And if we do his work for him, which is we as the audience fill in the blank, which is 99.7% of the show, he has won. And that's why I come down hard on this. And Steve, this is Steve's channel. I'm saying some shitty things, but nothing personal to anybody. The show is beyond. I don't know what to do with this because I have never experienced anything like this on the screen ever. It's the worst fucking shit I've ever seen.
Do you remember a movie called Battlefield Earth?
Yeah, dude. This
reminds me of Battlefield Earth.
This makes Battlefield Earth
is high
look like
art
Gone
compared
with
to
the
this.
Wind.
Battlefield Earth is high art compared to this.
That what Lyle said. Seriously, Lyle's not wrong. I mean, yeah, we could go down the road of John Travolta and Scientology and all the other weird shit and just terrible
Well, the
effects.
Battlefield Earth book was pretty good. So
that's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
So that's the analogy. Like, this is a comically bad adaptation that is not quite bad enough to go full Mystery Science 3000 and enjoy it that way, but bad, but not, or not even that sort of like make fun of it bad, but like this, because obviously we're offended by the insult to Jordan's work and all that, right? But if we were truly like horrifically humorously bad, we could just riff on it and call it a day. Instead,
I'd be making videos. Steve would too, like endlessly.
I find with this show, Ring to Prime, obviously for me, it's even worse. Where it gives me a foul feeling in my stomach at certain points.
That's it.
That
is it.
And
it's see, one drifts into religious connotations. This is a defilement. This is profane.
Mm-hmm.
This is inhuman. I mean, I don't know what kind of a person makes this, and then I don't know what kind of a person enjoys this. And I don't know. Did they want to live in the pods and eat the bugs and all that and believe in the weather thing and all the all this other shit? Is that who they made it for? Because they sure as shit didn't make it for me. I don't know who they made it for.
Well, they made it for mindless reactors on YouTube. They made it for mindless reactors on YouTube.
But dude, the shills are gone. I haven't seen like somebody sucking the knob on this season 2 for a couple episodes. Have you guys seen it?
You'll still see like the Daniel Greens of the world and the Ablisses, and I get YouTube keeps trying to recommend people who who alleged book readers who like review it and like the show. And let's be something clear: if you happen to like this, you're entitled to like whatever you want.
Yeah, you can.
If you never read the books and you like soap opera stuff, this could be entertaining. So
it's true. It's true.
But you cannot honestly take seriously, like, forget the woke stuff. Just forget all the anti-male. Just flush that down the drain, right? Just evaluate the sake of the writing, and let's pretend the books don't exist, right? So Rafe Dudkins has created Rafe Dudkins' Wheel of Prime, okay? And he's intending to be a good fantasy show. And let's say there were no woke elements in it, right? It would still be a horrifically bad
and that's
show. What?
The problem. That's
a very true point.
The Outpost is a better fantasy show than this. I don't know if you've seen it.
The first the Outposts were pretty good.
Yeah,
I
watched the first season. I thought it was pretty good. The first season of the Outpost was pretty good.
Yeah,
but it is campy or whatever you would call it. Like you can tell that the sets aren't all the way there. Like some of the stuff is not the greatest, but like the story as a whole at least works.
Well, it's the B level, like what you used to call B movies or B TV shows. The Outpost was a B. It was you guys might be too young to remember stuff salty, but the old syndicated stuff, in the 80s.
Oh, I remember, dude. Yeah. I remember. Yeah, I was there, dude. Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Yeah, but there was still entertainment to be found there. It's now we get
There's another problem with this adaptation. There's another problem with this show. And to highlight what you said, Salty, I watched the first season as a non-book reader. I hadn't read the books. And I just thought it was a bad show, even having not read the books. And that's the problem.
I don't know how, and again, something happened. And I'm still convinced that they just ran with the same story Rafe had written, and they had started shooting when all the reshoots for season 1 occurred, and then my COVID bullshit happened. And I think what we're seeing is just a lack of any shits given by Amazon, because there's no continuity. The characters aren't the same. Completely different, not Moiraine. Completely different kind of everything. And then the chick who she's supposed to be her lesbian lover, there's nothing there. I mean, it's just like I don't know how you, because I'm not watching the show comparing it to Robert Jordan. You can't. You quite literally can't. I'm watching it just as a fantasy show. And just like you guys have said, there is nothing here. There's nothing here to root for. Who are you supposed to care about? Who has the most screen time? Leandrin and Nynaeve. So that tells me this is a story about an African-American actress who is cast to bring diversity into a fantasy world, who's the bestest ever, and that's it. And if that's the case, then how many times have we seen this shit before? You know?
If they've given a B-level villain like more screen time than anyone.
Did you see those screenshots I shared earlier?
No.
I was out doing stuff.
Yeah, earlier, like when we first started, I shared a couple of screenshots from like the Logain stuff in episode 4 of the first season where he can see the bright sun, and then I also grabbed some from episode 3 of this season where he explicitly states that he can see men who channel.
I remember.
And it's like that's part of that continuity stuff. Like they aren't.
What they could try to do to get being true to itself is just have him think he can see men who can channel when really he can see Ta'Veren. But then why wasn't he seeing Matt? Did he see Matt glow in season 1? And it adds all these different layers of the show. One thing the books did that did it so well is we see the characters have less knowledge than us, the readers, because we get more perspectives and can see the bigger picture. So we know when different characters are working on limited information. And that's why certain reviewers later on, when it's a twist, is so good, because we didn't... Is this one of the few times Jordan didn't tell us all the information? He hid things from us, but the rest of the time he told us all of this information, so we trusted him that we knew everything, so he could trick us. But in this show, they try to do that. They try to withhold information from everyone, from the viewers themselves, so we can't actually trust anything in the story.
It's J.J. Abrams. That's all this is. This is
mystery box.
This was made
it's mystery
during
box storytelling.
That's all it is, and they've overlaid it. And this has been out of vogue for 3 years. And now we all have to sit here and suffer through it. I just want to call some people out in chat who are here. Step, I do know she's not African American. She's actually from the UK, so I misspoke. I should have said a young BIPOC female whose only flaw is not knowing how amazing she truly is, which is exactly what the season 2 editor said in their interview.
They did make her into even bigger idiot in the last episode by throwing her hissy fit with Elaine, even though she's not the one who does the hissy fit in the books.
If you picked this book up and you started reading it, you would close it and put it back on the shelf.
Well,
this is not Robert Jordan. Like, I don't know who this is. This is not even. This isn't even the kid who's looks funny, who bags my groceries. And I like, that's really shitty to say, but I don't care. So
here's the other thing. Elaine is in this show to do what?
To look really good, good, and to act really poorly. That's what she's in the show for.
To be our narrator, basically our exposition person.
The exposition should have been loyal.
It should,
but they have confirmed last episode that Loyal is a liar. That nothing he says can be taken at face value.
When is the last time he had a lie? When was the last time the actor that plays Loyal? He's a houseplant and Rand's a houseplant, and I mean,
you aren't wrong. It does kind of irk me when you think about it, because one of the big copes of season 1 was they've done his look like that so they can give him more screen time, yada yada yada, and he has done nothing this season.
I'm convinced that they cut down screen time to reduce what they have to pay actors. Just like I don't know, you could tell me anything about this show, about why they cut corners and why they don't care, and I would believe you. The one thing that we have to endure 3 more episodes of this shit somehow, and it's not going to look anything like we thought in our worst nightmares. And Steve, I don't know how you feel about it, but when this shit is done, it is really hard to go back and watch it again because there is nothing there. There is it's a net negative on your psyche to sit through this episode or any of these episodes season 2.
It hurts.
It does.
Well, I mean, there I don't know. I I look at stuff different, right? I mean, you're not wrong in anything you're saying, right? But I like to try and compare it, even though there's not many comparisons there. But it's part of it for me is especially because there are still plenty of shows. You got the biggest shows of all of them still singing the praises, saying it's getting better and better and better and better.
Did you see Daniel Green's comment on Twitter about how the show was never about the boys? It was about women.
What about the books? How the books
yes,
are
about the books because Rand gets like 2% of the text that Wally Lane. Wayne gets like 30%.
Right. So now we're playing revisionist history with the books. So that's why it's important to compare it to the books, because when you compare it to the books and show that it's nothing like the fucking books, then it becomes even quite. You take something that should have happened in the books that's not happening in the show, and you go, well, what the fuck have you done here? And why do you think that's better when I obviously have something here that is from the source material that is good and that is better? For instance, Rand being with Elaine, Evian, and Min instead of having Alana with fucking Ivern and Maxim, who are now going to corner Lan and call Lan the man that is fucking sworn to fight the Shadow till death, a fucking dark friend. So it's like when you're doing those things, and then you have people turning around that are supposed to be the number one Wheel of Time advocates out there saying, no, the show is better, the show is good, the show is doing all the things that the book should have done or could have done, or it's about the girls, or they're all every nation had a queen. Don't forget that there was a queen in Carheen, even though it was a king, just forget about that. Right? They're trying to erase it. So, that's why I feel like, for me anyways, it's important to talk about, even though there's no Wheel of Time there, you're not wrong, it's not there, but they're trying to say it is. And
has anyone picked
one of them says that bullshit, it just makes me mad. Sorry, go ahead, Lau.
Has anyone picked up the fact that there is a very, degenerate sexual tone to this show? It's very disturbing.
Yeah,
it is very disturbing.
Well, it's just like the little fucking scene that I played before I brought you guys all in. We wanted to bring up the sex. It wasn't, the first word out of Rafe's mouth about fucking Land Fear of Mars was sex. We want sex. It's sex because Rafe is fucking, I don't know, sexually frustrated. I don't know, but everything, it's
the
same reason that Rand, every scene Rand is in ends with some sort of his shirt off or him having sex with something.
Well,
he's literally
every fucking time.
I'll say again, because they're making a soap opera. They're not making a fantasy TV show. So
you can tell who they're making the show.
You need to watch some more soap operas, friend.
You can tell who they're making this show for, based upon how season 2 feels different from season 1. Again, this show was not made for us. It wasn't made for people who watch a fantasy genre show, who read fantasy books. That audience never showed up in season 1. Why would they show up in season 2? Now, I really do believe we're enduring what the original intent of Rafe Judkins' script was. It was this.
So
I want to counter the fantasy audience did show up for season 1. For all of 1 to 2 minutes of the first episode, and then they left.
The show wasn't made for them. That's the problem, and they don't want us. They want, I don't know, somebody else.
Yeah, those people don't want this. They don't like it.
I don't think just because you have older kids that they have to be having sex all the time. Just because they're older doesn't mean can sex be there? Sure. Like, could there be? Did Rand and Egwene have to bone in the Wine Spring Inn the first episode? Absolutely not. Could they have had an intimate, like, could they have like done like they could have done something a little bit more, I guess. But I think it actually, just because you've aged them up to make the excuse to have so they can have sex doesn't mean that they have to be having sex. There's actually there's no reason for any of them to be having sex yet. They don't know each other. Like Egwene and Rand come from this small fucking sheep herding town where sex is like, you don't have sex till after marriage. That's how they're brought up. You get married and then you raise a family to be farmers. That's it. Like, so them least of all should be having sex, whether you're older or not. There are people out there right now that still don't have sex till after marriage. Believe it or not, they exist.
Yes, but remember, this is also what I was going to say. You have a lot of people writing this who come from the hookup culture of Los Angeles, California, who don't understand.
I got a counterpoint to that.
Turn down, Mile.
Go ahead.
Yeah, a little high.
And the counterpoint to that argument is the fact that we just had Opla come out, and they do not have one sex scene.
Had what come out?
Did you say Oprah? What did you say?
Yeah,
One Piece live action.
One Piece, yeah.
They do not have one sex scene in 8+ hours.
Oda denied it. He said no romance. I mean, he just said outright no romance.
And the reason I point to this is because it's a prime example of, you don't actually need sex to have an enjoyable show that people are willing to sit down and watch.
Yep. And you certainly don't need to be talking about threesomes and foursomes every other scene.
Yeah,
but this is why they age the characters up. To do this, because that is what Amanda Schumann and Rafe Judkins knew how to do. They didn't know how to write fantasy. They had no interest in doing it. So from the very beginning, and even with Amazon's blessing, Robert Jordan's world didn't come alive until Rafe Judkins turned this into an ensemble piece. Sorry, an ensemble piece, meaning trash. So here we are, and like the more we dig into what was said before this show came out, I think it makes it not easier to understand, but you can see the direct parallels as to where things go. I just think a lot of us are in shock that season 2 would do this. But again, I'm pretty sure this is what season 1 looked like before the 10,000 notes that Amazon gave Rafe Judkins. I'm 99% sure of that.
Well, Jay, there's places, like, you're not wrong, Jay. There's places, look, I'm not saying sex doesn't need to exist in the Wheel of Time. There are places to put it. The igloo scene is, yes, of course, perfect place, right? I'm not even saying you can't have some, like, freaking Egwene and Rand are scared on the road or something, and they freaking have an intimate moment that, while they're freaking traveling. They don't have to be plowing every fucking minute. You can have sex and intimacy without plowing. Like, you can develop a relationship between two characters without plowing each other or having a fucking goddamn dominatrix outfit on Mars on. Like, there's ways to do this without fucking just stick it in me, man. Go ahead.
Friendship is hard to write because you have to develop it with earned reasons over episodes. Intimacy and affection has to be earned. These people don't know how to write that shit. Now, we can postulate what's going on in the real world, but in their experience, but what it comes down to is they're lazy. They didn't want to do it. In Chris B, I think it was a combination of the two. I think Amazon hired Rosamund Pike after they bought the property, and then they had Rafe write the showrunner for season 1, rewrite it based on the script we had. Now in season 2, they just don't give a shit. They just don't care. Sunk cost.
My thing is, and it's to add on to everything you just said there, is these are also the same people, though, that throw around incel like it's an insult.
Right. But also their talent, guys. Like, we can sit here and do backhanded observations of what kind of pieces of shit that we think they are, and rightfully so. And it makes a lot of money for bigger channels who like to use those cliches. What it really does come down to is that they don't have the talent, and Amazon didn't make the show for an audience that was us. and now we're here going, where is it? Where is the fantasy? And Amazon's going, where the hell is the audience? And so here we are, you know?
And I want to point out, and Robert Jordan even said, well, he does like erotica. He doesn't like it in his story.
With his characters.
Yep. He had sex scenes at very specific points.
Yes.
Very specific storytelling elements, not all over the place.
What did he say? I'll bring the hammer of God down on you if you write that kind of stuff.
In the series, Rand has sex like 2 times on page.
He
3.
like on page maybe 2. I mean, he's obviously hopping back and forth, but on page, I mean, at least twice. I mean, one of them is not even on page. One of them's through the bond.
Yeah, but I consider that technically sort of on
I
page
guess it's sort of on page.
it's alluded to.
Yeah.
The first time he's with each of his girls,
Avienda for sure.
Avienda, then Min.
You're
he
right.
talks about it because he thinks he raped Min.
The thing though about the Min one, because I think that happens in like book 6, is it isn't gone into detail. It's like hinted at that he has a desire, and then it cuts away.
Dude, we gotta be half thinking ourselves that some of this shit isn't gonna happen, because otherwise we'd have to stomach Min jumping into bed with Rand naked and holding him and making him warm. Can you picture this Min jumping in the sack with Min or with Rand and cuddling up with him and trying to make him warm so he doesn't go into shock?
It'd be kind of creepy considering she's so much older.
They're gonna kill her.
I think Salty's right. I think she dies at next episode.
Yeah, it'll be redemption, and Leandrin's going to get a redemption arc, which is not going to make any sense, and we're all going to go, "What the hell did I just watch?" Go ahead.
Whole question: if you do redeem Leandrin, what are you going to do with her? She has no place in the story.
Well, they've already. So hold on. So here's the problem. Al. Her place in the story is already done. She's already gone past that. The minute she went into the Waygate, her story is now Rafe's to write, because she's done.
She should not until
she's collared. She's done. She doesn't even. Her story is done. Her whole point. The whole point of Leandrin is Black Aja, get girls to follow me, get collared. Leandrin should be done. But now
in the book, she doesn't get collared though.
And heavy book spoilers, guys, to remind everyone.
Yeah, in the book, Mogadine shields her off.
They step out and they immediately shield Egwene in the book, right?
Oh, it's coming to
Show me, Matt.
Yeah.
And
you guys keep talking.
Then
Dude, how the hell am I supposed to read that?
So yeah, in the books, she shows up with the girls. They step out. Egwene immediately gets collared. Nynaeve goes anger and starts throwing lightning bolts around because she's channeling and she copies what the Damani are doing. And then Surath basically says, "They got away. How could you let them do that? There was supposed to be 3 or whatever." And she's like, "It's not my problem that you can't, hold on to your merchandise I delivered." And then she leaves.
Yeah, down the line, she becomes Decovale. I think that's what you're talking about.
Well, I'm just saying, the last time I saw her in the books, when I've read through, was Mogadine. She tried to attack Mogadine. Mogadine shielded her, cut her off.
That's in
and left her as a servant.
Her last thing I remember is I think she gets killed after using a balefire rod to kill some of Elaine's army.
That's way spoilers from where I am.
No, but she's effectively she does
nothing.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Lyle.
She does nothing of worth past.
Her whole book 3 arc is basically to the effect of plot MacGuffin. She's run away after murdering a couple Aes Sedai, and we're trying to find out where she went.
Yeah.
But that's my point. She has no big role after the Fallmate stuff.
Well, but now we've created. So it's the thing that's going to be curious is if they are just going to forego Ingtar being Dark Friend to give it to Leandrin, or if they're both somehow going to do some of that bullshit. because we already know that it's a foregone conclusion. Whatever's going to happen with Leandra, if Nynaeve freaking super bubbles all the way from Falme and heals her son back to the age of 14 so they can live happily ever after, and then or maybe Nynaeve will heal her son back to the age of 25 and Leandra will marry her son and they'll freaking do the weird stuff. Like, who fucking knows? But we know that freaking Leandra's son is going to either die or be healed in some sort of way, and then she's either going to forsake the Dark One for letting her son die because that was why she went to the dark, and she's going to curse the darkness, and then that's supposed to be this big fucking thing. We're all supposed to be happy that Leandra, one of the most hated characters in the fucking book, show, is now a good person. So
she's getting
you now it's like it would
Don't-
be like taking Moraine now, who has killed more people than anybody and is probably the most hated character in this show.
Yes.
And giving her victory and her turning around going, and everybody going, "Fuck you! Nobody likes you. Fuck off!" Because that's what they've done with all their characters. All their characters suck. We hate all of
That's
them.
it.
None of them are likable. Not a
No.
single. Like, I don't even like fucking Turok
And-
because he looks like a fucking moron. That's a
Let me
Blade
just
Master.
Add something real quick, and then you guys take it. Don't forget the clumsy threats in the Nat Tower by not Leandrin to not the Chronicler. You know what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for a scene with tense music where, remember Captain America in the elevator with all the bad guys? Yeah. I'm waiting for a scene that rips that off with all of them, and it's going to be the Marvel Cinematic Universe type fight scene or something like that, and then it's just going to be a bunch of horse shit.
She's going to use the air sword because foreshadowing, right? Foreshadowing, the air sword, right? Fucking Christ! Or the back scabbard, knife.
She'll pull an air dagger out of the back scabbard.
I wouldn't be surprised if they have it at the end of the episode. Ishii goes up to her and says, "I'm sorry, I was going to keep my word and heal your son, but Nynaeve killed her." And then she's going to be against Nynaeve for season 3.
There could be that too, but I don't know. I see it more being like Leandra redeems herself, and then we have a buddy cop fucking Leandra and Nynaeve show where they it's like we're sisters. Let's go save the world. I'm Leandra. I'm gonna teach you how to heal, girl. And she's like, "Girl, I'm gonna teach you how to heal, girl." And it's gonna be like, "All right, I'm now Yellow Aja. I'm Leandra of the Yellow Aja. All right." And that's gonna be it.
So I want to go on to Steph's comment where she or he or whatever says Ingtar will be a dark friend with no redemption or whatever.
It's possible.
I do think that is the most likely, and that Leandra will be redeemed and get his arc, because they haven't set Ingtar up for anything. If they give him that role in the show, it has no setup, so the payoff will mean nothing.
So I firmly believe this. Okay, and this is the preview. This is a preview for episode 6. So first of all, just their story tracks. Just lay out their story tracks. What point is there? None of the other Shinards. Where's Mesama? First of all, where's Mesama? So if Mesama's not there, why the fuck is Ingtar there? Okay, there's at least a reason for them to have Loyal there. At least he's a gardener. They respect gardeners. They're not even playing that. They just fucking have him there.
They have why though.
Why is Ingtar there? Mesama's not there. None of the other Shinards are there. They were all alive last time we saw them, except for Uno, who will be reborn to the light as a hero of the Horde named Frugal the Gypsy or some shit. I don't fucking know.
Frugal the Gypsy.
But why there is no reason for Ingtar to be there?
He isn't like of the blood or anything.
All right, buddy. Thanks, man. We'll talk later.
He isn't of the blood. He isn't a local dignitary. He isn't like an emissary. you're right. He fulfills zero role in being in that scene.
Right. So the only reason that he's there is to fake us out and think we're gonna get to fake people out that aren't paying attention, to go and then to piss us off when he isn't redeemed. He's
It's
gonna do some
also
bullshit. He's gonna do some bullshit, and then he's gonna turn and like stab Rand in the back or something, or some bullshit, and then Rand's gonna have to kill him, and it's gonna be something like that's the only reason he's there is to steal the horn with Loyal for some reason, and then for them to shit on his redemption and not give it to him.
he's also
They have
there
him cackle
to
like a
just,
villain the whole time.
he's there to suck up to book readers though too, because
Well, no,
he's like
that's what I'm saying.
he's a name that we'll associate with.
So, not to mention, whether or not you think that Flicker Flicker is going to happen, which I tend to believe there's no chance. But
Agreed.
it's 100%. He's 100% not going to be involved in that, even if it does happen, and that's monumental in his whole redemption arc.
I think it'll be just Rand and Matt who do the flicker flicker.
So, I have seen people on Reddit trying to say that Flicker Flicker will show up, and my question to them and now to all of you is why or what has set up that they'll use portal stones?
Yeah, that's other right. So I think that's, and I'm gonna put a chat. I'm gonna put a poll up because that is the exact question. Because the only reason, the only thing that has made they've eliminated any chance for the fly scene with Rand. They gave it to Perrin. They gave him plot mission. No flicker, no blink, no flicker, no nothing. There are no portal stones. Any reason for there to be flicker flicker is there's no reason for it to be, only that we know the books. So like I think that's a really good question. I'm not sure what they've done in the show
Now,
to make anybody think flicker flicker is going to be a thing.
people have argued against me and they're like, well, Rand uses the portal stones and he doesn't know what they do. And it's like, there is a line though that you have to understand. Doing something with intent is different than doing something accidental. You can have a person that can fall on the ground and do a beautiful tumble thing, right? Where they like roll and get up on their feet and it looks really good. But if you ask them to deliberately do the exact same thing, they would most likely struggle to repeat it.
Yeah, but here's the thing about that, about Flicker Flicker, right? They have 3 more episodes this season and 8 episodes next season before they have to move completely past the point of the storyline where it likely could occur, right? So, given the fact that we know that 75% of what they're going to put in the show is not going to be anything that was in the books, I mean, the odds of them getting to that Flicker Flicker or anything else is minuscule.
You know what? The number one reason I don't think it's going to be in the show at this point.
Why?
It's a Rand moment.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a moment for Rand. They're taking away as many moments for Rand as possible.
Yep.
And either giving them to Moraine or giving them to Nynaeve or giving them to Egwene or to anybody else that exists on the planet or giving them to Lanfear. So Flicker Flicker is a Rand thing, and if it happens, it's literally going to be he's going to touch a stone, it's going to flicker once, and then he's going to be in another place. I don't think it's going to happen.
Another reason for it to not happen is in this preview for episode 6, Egwene beats the crap out of her Suldam. How is she going to remain a Damani if she's done that? They would kill her or cut off her hand to make her more obedient.
No. They allowed the Damani to do it. She does it in the books. It's just there is a feedback from doing it. Whatever her Suldam feels, she feels, 10 times over?
I don't remember her beating the shit out of her Suldam.
She does. So when Rhenna first
tried and I didn't stop it.
She sucker punches Rhenna directly in the eye, and then when we next see Egwene being trained, she has a black eye.
Right,
from punching Rhenna.
So sure. that is a lot different than getting down on top of her and beating the ever living shit out of her.
Yeah, that part doesn't make sense.
So I thought you were talking about something above and beyond the black eye. So sorry, I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page because, like, if you haven't seen this, I think this is
I have
it's in
heard.
here. She goes, she probably have killed herself doing this, but you know we'll get there when we watch it. But yeah, I mean she tests, you know, she tests every which way to get out. Like, I'm not denying that, but the amount of pain she would inflict on herself doing this, it's just another one of those over, you know, it's just unnecessary and stupid.
to
And it's just
So
emphasize
does that mean
unbreakable.
they've removed? Does that mean they've removed the feedback of the from the callers?
no. You'll see. They did not.
Remember, Egwene is unbreakable.
She's unbreakable. Yes, she is unbreakable. Yeah. So, so I'll play a little bit of this here, but it's just, I put up the chat. I put up the poll there if Flicker is going to happen or not. Apparently, Nathan said that I will eat a mayo sandwich if Flicker happens. That's going to take some money, but so let's go ahead and play this and see what we got. I think this is probably the one I've already seen, but I'm assuming it sounds like most people haven't seen it yet. So let's take a look. I'm not sure how much sound is going to come through because it's Amazon's player, but we'll give it a shot. Can you hear it?
Just have subtitles on.
Yeah, I'll put the subtitles.
That's probably safer for you.
Yeah, it's probably safer too. You're right. You are right. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to play it all the way over. God, I hate their player, man. I fucking hate their player so bad. All right, so it starts with, "You are a dark friend sworn to Lanfear." Who do we think he's talking to, guys?
And Elaine.
"You shall not leave this place." Boom.
Wait, Landwoman Dragorin is no longer got his long hair. What happened?
It's in his top knotty thing.
Well, it's just no longer down. Why? Did he decide to stop being feminine?
Wait, why do they think he swore?
Okay. So let me. Okay, thank you so much for asking. I'm so glad. So, all right. So remember that Moraine got the MacGuffin poem about Lanfear to get her out of her MacGuffin prison, right? Well, Landon, on a whim, for some reason, decides to steal this MacGuffin letter poem that he has no idea what the fuck it is. So he steals this paper with this bullshit poem about blood calls blood on it, right? And takes it with him as he leaves frickin' Moraine. Well, now, while they're at their fucking picnic deciding what holes to put it in Alana and fucking, is it Maxim, the white guy? They decide to go through Lan's pockets for some fucking reason. And guess what they find? Oh, they find the blood calls blood poem. Well, I should call it that. It's not blood calls blood. The bad mythical unlocker spell poem from Harry Potter. They find it in his pocket. So they instantly, of course, know exactly what it is because apparently everybody knows what these pieces of paper with poems on them mean, and that's why they're accusing him of being a dark friend because he has a piece of paper in his pocket.
The issue, though, is they don't have any reason to go through his pockets. They've already established within the episode that he isn't suicidal, so they don't need to be checking for knives or anything.
There's no reason
for that would require logic, and
No, they did. Well, there's no reason for it. Why does he have the paper? Why did he take it from Moraine in the first place?
Because in soap operas, people do stuff like that, basically.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's exactly right. There's no reason for him to have it, except we need to have this bullshit scene we put in. I hope he kills the both of them. I hope he fucking kills the both of them. That would be wonderful. But it's not going to happen.
Wait, he's probably going to kill Maxime, and Maxime isn't going to die in the Two Rivers.
They're gonna hug it out, guys. Come on, they're gonna hug it out.
He's going to be the meat in the sandwich.
I'm trying to imagine Bookland's reaction to being accused of being a dark friend. I'm just trying to imagine it, and I can't.
That's also Daisy Dew brings up a good point. Are we just skipping the part of where the dark friend is sworn to Lanfear and not the dark one? That's also a good point.
Well, I think
he's thirsty, boys. He's thirsty. He wants that Lanfear Punani on Mars. He wants his ticket to Mars, guys.
Don't some of the Dark Friends get sworn to certain Forsaken later in the series?
Mostly, I feel like mostly
So
Grendel.
the way it
Grendel
works
takes
is
road
they're all
service,
sworn to the Dark One.
Yeah.
But the Forsaken are his generals, and
They
they
report
can
to them.
co-opt
Right.
any Dark Friend to use in their plots.
Right.
Which we do eventually see where some Dark Friends are being pulled two ways.
Yep.
Because they've been given contradictory orders by different Forsaken.
Matt, how are you? I didn't see you there. How are you, buddy? You're muted.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how
I just
are
assumed
you?
I'm doing good. I just assumed you didn't want too many people. Or
No, we're good, man. Just just as long as we're not talking over each other the best we can, it's all good. We're sort of just freewheeling it here. So
I'm just chilling my back patio, drinking wine.
I want to push back against Thumb Maryland here for saying book land would kill anyone who calls him a Dark Friend, because people in the books do call him and Moraine Dark Friends, and he doesn't kill them. It's all about timing and place. If he were pushed, he might, but to him, words aren't that important to action.
No, but
if that makes sense.
Regular people accusing him, because I get accused of that all the time. Another warder accusing him of being a Dark Friend.
Yeah,
that's a different thing.
You aren't wrong.
Real quick, just Matt, when you want to talk, I muted you just because of some of your background noise. So just when he got something to say, I just unmute and nope. Did we lose him? Shoot, we lost him. I'll say it again when he comes back. But look, man, the whole thing is just stupid. This is one of the very few people that they should know guaranteed he's Dark Friend. This is just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Who calls these two schmucks call Lan a Dark Friend? Are we talking about here or in the books? Because I don't think it happens in the books.
In the books, the White Cloaks refer to.
Oh well, the White Cloaks refer to everybody as Dark Friend.
And there are a couple instances, even in the Two Rivers, where Sen Bui and his ilk refer to him as a Dark Friend.
Yeah, but those are like regular, like rumor monger type stuff. This is the warders accusing him of a Dark Friend.
You're right, and that's why I push back against the someone, because the common everyday folk wouldn't. But if it's somebody of a higher status, then he might push back against it.
Did I lose somebody?
I think
somehow Lau got kicked. Sorry about that, Lau. I was trying to move things around. So Matt, I don't know if you heard me. I had you muted just because of your background. So whenever you're ready to talk, just unmute and we'll let you go. Just because you have wonderful chirping out there. It sounds like a beautiful day wherever you are.
Well, that's fascinating. You can hear the crickets. Yeah, we have like a swarm of crickets here in Texas. After it rained, like there's just like they're everywhere.
Yeah, no, it's fine. And just just for the background.
He has more ambience than this show.
It does, right? Well, not in the sanatorium. I mean, they're screaming B-roll, right? I mean, good lord, they got it on point there, don't they? So Lan, Dark Friend, he would take these two in a heartbeat. Move aside, bitch. I'm so afraid. Like,
why is he pulling his sword out that way?
Like Lan would just cut him in two right there. Like, it's another instance of them doing something stupid. Like, him showing aggression like that, all Lan has to do is reach for his sword, downward slash, and he's cut in two. Right? Am I wrong? Or am I wrong? Like, it drives me crazy.
He doesn't utilize the sword in there. He's too close range, so you aren't drawing his sword. He steps in, slams the pommel down, and uses hand to hand.
Well, whatever. He's done. Like the little baby. I'm so tired of the unbelievable choreography and the stare-offs and the making villains of people that aren't villains because everybody's got dark bullshit inside of them. I'm so over it. All these people that are not like, how do you turn people that are inherently good people, like fighting for the light? They're good people, and every single one of them.
So you can have manufactured conflict and drama. That's what it is.
Oh, you're right. Absolutely right. Here we go. What is this? See, this is what I was.
Oh,
I
they're doing
did
some channeling practice. That's a good way to get caught. Remember, I think it's episode 2, no, or maybe 3. They established that the Damani can actually sense channeling,
right.
because
So
they
they
have
fucked
her
up.
pointing out different women. So if
Right.
they're
So they fucked
channeling
up with
here,
Lanfear, or not
So-
with Lanfear,
So they
Leandra.
made episode 4, season 1 even worse.
I
Yes.
want to point out, I don't think there are nearly as many channelers in the show as there are in the book.
That's true.
Oh.
Well,
What's up?
Damani can get they can sense channeling, but Moraine can't sense the Nynaeve can.
Moraine can't do much of shit. Moraine is so fucking useless.
Well, remember that from season 1? She's like, I didn't know she can channel, but now
You're
we
right.
have Damani doing it, no problem.
So she lied. Great. They ruined the story even more.
So what are they? I'm trying to figure out what the fuck they're doing. Are they making something?
It's like they're.
It looks like they have a Ouija
believing
board, but they don't have a
something.
Ouija board.
because she's got air, or whatever you would call it, white lines around her arms.
She's making beer.
Yeah.
Why not?
Who's the woman in red?
That's Rima. She's supposed to be a colored Damani that Egwene meets.
Oh.
That's the Aes Sedai of the Warder who was on the Bears football team who put a mean chop block into the wall, killed them both again.
In the books, there was a captured yellow Aes Sedai that she met. I think her name was Rima.
Yes, this is who that is supposed to be.
Right. Yeah, this is supposed to be
She's
her.
just
but
not
she's-
captured for some reason.
Yeah, she's captured and now teaching them in the streets of Falme, surrounded by.
Well, then
yeah,
they should be caught. If they're doing this channeling, they should be caught and sent on immediately.
immediately, yeah.
Well, that depends if they're even anywhere near the Damane, though.
It doesn't matter.
They're
Like,
in
they're
the
in
city.
They're in Falme.
They're in they're in Shan Chan, space. They've captured this area. They're in hiding from Shan Chan. That's all they do in Falme was walking. I mean, how many patrols did they have to, hide from to not get captured because they're patrolling the streets looking for Marath Damane, right? They spent
Well, have they even established that they're patrolling?
Well,
Okay,
that's the book.
Last
You're confusing
episode,
the
they
book
did
with
show
the TV show.
They did show last episode that there was a sort of what you could call patrol. It was 2 Shanshan armored people walking the street, but in the books, it's like they're a platoon, and every single one of them had a Damani with them to point out.
Yeah,
Well,
they
were
had
sent to
hundreds
find
of
them, right?
Damane in the book.
I think the problem I'm having is you're not thinking logically. Like I'm thinking too logically.
Wait, I'm not thinking logically.
No, I am not. No, I am thinking. We are thinking too. I am thinking too logically. As a force that has taken over a city, the first thing I would want to do is take away the best weapon and maybe bolster my own rank. So I would send out my forces to capture as many of these channelers that I can collar as possible, and then turn them into weapons for myself.
But if
the
you only
show,
have like
course,
3 of them, 3 Damane in the whole Shanshan army.
I guess that's no. There's at least every boat had 2 on it to make that giant wave to kill the kid.
Yeah, but then the boats had to spread out along the coast.
You're presuming they remembered that all those boats had.
True, that's another thing. Yeah.
No, so
Plus,
so I guess
as
that,
I
I guess
pointed
that's
out,
it. I have
Steve,
I
on
have
your very podcast, Steve, I pointed out the rebound from that tidal wave would have sunk more than half those ships.
You're not wrong.
That out.
Like so what you're telling me is I have to forget everything I've seen for the show to make sense. Got it. Okay, no
Yes.
problem. I forgot about that part. My bad, guys. Okay, continuing. I bet they're making a teacup. Okay, I'm gonna call it right now because there's a little circle here of something they're making. They're gonna make a plate or some bullshit and drink water out of it. Okay, let's see.
Watch, they're purifying.
They're purifying water. See how useful it is? We purified the water.
Oh my god!
You're in grave danger. Let's channel some more.
Let me give you some rings.
Well, it's white, so it should
Oh,
have
this
been.
is. Hold on. This is my favorite.
Is she gonna
scene
get
of this whole
captured?
thing. No,
No, she's gonna
hopefully.
get captured.
Have you guys? Who hasn't seen this? Who hasn't seen?
I
this?
haven't.
I haven't.
I haven't.
I
This
haven't
is my
seen it.
I
favorite.
haven't.
Just okay. We're gonna let this play because this is my favorite scene of the whole thing. Here it goes. Just watch it.
Wait,
what the
why
fuck
is
was
he
that?
looking her in the eye
What
like
was
that?
that guy doing?
You know what this reminds me of?
What is he
I'm your
doing?
warder. Let me look deeply into your eyes instead of
It's like
defending you.
an R&B music video.
This reminds me of the two.
What?
Go ahead.
It probably is some cultural thing from wherever she's from, where you trust someone and love someone a lot by staring directly into their eyes or something like that.
It's a good way to get yourself captured, though, which is
Maybe
probably
they're about
why
to do
he
a
does.
salsa dance.
Oh God, who was it? Somebody when we saw this after we watched. Somebody told me, and I laughed my ass off because I think it's funny, and it's probably right. This is her juicing him up with power.
Right,
It's like, here you go. Here's some extra strength. Go. It's like, oh no.
He's gonna like inflate with like a Hulk, you know?
Is that going to be a thing where they give the power to the warder?
What else could they be doing here other than I love you? I'm gonna go. Like I don't know what is like. He walks so like. Look at it's like again. They're in the heat of battle here.
He's staring at her the whole time.
Like, what are you doing? Like, he walks over there's like, it's like, oh, I guess arrows
I'm
don't
gonna be a
exist.
shield against those arrows. I will suck them up with my body.
There you go. I hope he gets nailed with like 8 arrows in it. Like, I would clap, you know. If he just gets plucked by like a whole bunch of arrows, she's like, oh no. Oh, please let it happen. Please let it happen. Okay, where are we at? Here we go. Let's get some more. Here we are with not Igtar, whatever the hell he's wearing. They're just letting them walk around.
Mascara Ingtar.
So they're talking about freeing. So they're talking about freeing Wayne.
Why? They're supposed to be in a house.
Why does it look like this Sean Chan built this place to keep their demoni?
Exactly.
not
It looks
her
like they built
wailing on-
Hallway, right? So did you see her wailing on her Suldog?
The moment Egwene tried to do that, she should have been curled up in the ground in pain, unable to hardly move.
So here you go. They're in the kennels. Let me get their crappy thing off. Oh, was her Dame freaking cracked?
See there, they show it. Like apparently she can't hit her, and now she can. I don't
Now she
understand.
can. That makes no sense. So stupid.
That
What it looks
the
like
way
they're
she
trying to-
punched, it would break her wrist.
I think it. Hold on. Is it cracked? Is her ADOM cracked? Hold on. Please tell me it's cracked. Please tell me it's cracked. Hold on. Let me play through this again. I swear there was a little scene where I could see it. It was like there was a crack in it.
It's flopping around.
That might just because
Oh
it's a
my
cheap
God.
prop.
It could be. It could be. I mean, very well could be. I swear to God. Oh my God.
It's almost like making it a based on a historical slave collar instead of just what the books have.
There- oh,
It's a
oh.
bad idea.
Is it just a bad?
I think that's just
It's
design.
That does look like a crack around the collar.
Is
But
that
if you
just a
look
bad
at
prop?
the other gilding just to the right there of where your
Yeah.
cursor was, you also
Yeah, I see it right here.
the shadowing.
I don't know, dude. It was pretty flush. Like, I see what you're saying. You're exact. Like, I think you're right. It should be like because it's gilded. Like,
Remember, Egwene is unbreakable, but the collar's not.
There
That
you go.
line is too
Right?
straight to be a crack, though.
Can you go back to the earlier scene where she's sitting across from her?
Which one is this?
It
Trying
should
to
be
find
only
it.
a couple seconds earlier.
This one.
There.
It's so damn dark, man.
I think you're right. I think it is cracked because you don't see any of that, for lack of better word, embroidery on it.
I wish I could zoom in, but like it won't let me.
Okay, then, if it is cracked, how does it get cracked?
Because she's
Because she's beating the shit out of it. So all that power transference.
I will
She's
say
so
this.
strong. She's gonna beat her way out. Sorry. Go ahead.
I don't actually mind them making the kennels more kennel-like, because in the books it's more like a house that they're just living in, whereas this kind of, I don't dislike it.
So
No, I agree.
Every city's gonna have prisons. They just call it the kennels. Who cares? Like it's not it's a small thing, but so it's not, she's not using the one power. That's the feedback she's supposed to be getting from trying to disobey her Suldam by trying to go after her.
Is it just me, or did it look like the first punch the Soldom made her actually channel an air shield?
Maybe,
and that's what she hit. That's what it looks like to me. I don't think there is feedback here.
I think that's cracked, man. You think that's? Do you think? I don't know, man.
Look how sensitive the Soldom is with their caring eyes.
But
so look, there's no crack here. That's the same thing. See right here?
It's just bad design, I think.
Is it?
It's either not cracked and then it breaks. Either it's supposed to not be broken and it's just a break in the prop and they didn't fix it.
It could be either, right?
Or it's supposed to break.
But I think Mahalader's right. It could be just she channeled air instead of like maybe. So the Anoms suck too. Like the Anoms don't cause pain. Like she should be able to control her like no problem.
What's with the scarring on her face?
Yeah, we just said the same thing at the same time. What is that? Where is it?
Those are her marks of a lifelong of training, blah, blah, blah.
She gets a shufa, too.
Like, those marks are covered by those weird mask thingies they wear.
So who is supposed to be
the new just face paint.
Taviran?
The new witch?
What's that?
Isn't there supposed to be a Taviran among the Shanchan?
Really?
No.
I thought I heard something about that.
I don't think so.
All right. It was stupid, so I'm glad I'm wrong.
They don't really mention Taviran anymmer.
What the shit?
Here's
what Taviran are.
There's still a problem with this collar. We remember, those who have read the books know that the collars and the leashes are incredibly strong. They are very tough and resilient. How in the hell does Egwene put a crack in one?
Well, that's the thing, is we don't know if it's cracked or not. But like, the problem is it's not an object now. It's now magic. There's nothing to crack. They put it on and it's a magical thing. It's CGI'd onto her body. It's not like it's magic. It's not even.
Yeah,
like,
for all we know, the props department dropped it, broke it, and they couldn't afford a new one.
Yeah, it's.
Or no one even noticed.
That well, and they raided Troy's.
Well,
yeah, no, they probably just forgot.
It's possible. It's possible. So, yeah, and I don't know. The more I'm looking at that, maybe that could just be. I don't know if that's air.
It is
feedback.
air. The Suldam are the ones who are supposed to channel, but it doesn't explain why she gets to lay the beat down later.
Well, wait. The Suldam, but they have the demonic. They have them channeling all the mortars and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Well,
so
yeah, I interpret this as she's making Egwene channel that that air shield. It doesn't look to me like there's feedback.
You could be right. That's just
I think that's why I think they're doing that, so they don't have to explain why Egwene can beat her up later.
You're probably both right. It's highly possible. She just overpowered her.
So we're going to bring up the fact that in this
what is that
show, in the show, apparently the Suldams can be any woman that wants to do it, when it's supposed to be just the women who could learn to channel but don't have the inborn spark. So how is it supposed to be any woman who, independent of their birth, but their merit and their skill with training?
Well, the thing is, even in the books, I think most of the Shanchan don't know about that. So the logic is like whatever the trials they put the Suldam put them through to
The
gain
trials
right.
of the Suldam is just, can you feel emotions through the Adom?
Oh yeah, it's literally just them. They get tested to see if, I forget what it is, but they test them to see if they can use the bracelet and then do another test to make sure that the necklace can't attach to them. I think because the necklace,
Yes,
color only
they go
attaches
through
to
and
those who can
they
channel.
color everyone to test all of the women, and then they give the bracelet to others that want to try.
So I don't know what this is, but I see channeling stuff down here.
It's a waste of 3 seconds.
Matt's fireworks.
I would guess
But
that
it's channeling. How is it
Yeah,
Matt's
I'm just kidding.
fireworks?
I'm just
There's
kidding.
channeling down there. Like, what is this?
It
what if
feels
it's
like a waste of time and graphics.
What if it's them Egwene finally figuring out how to channel large flows?
I don't know, because
But it's fire, not earth.
You can see there's stuff coming from the hallway here. That's all little channeling bullshit. And then there's a whole bunch down here. So this is somebody channeling bullshit.
Oh my god, what if that's Rand using the Porter Stones and they were actually going to go to Tyr in the last 2 episodes?
Fuck no. No, he's gonna be he's not leaving Carrion.
Have a good evening, gentlemen. I gotta head out.
The Red Wedding.
All right, Matt. Thanks, buddy.
All right, bye, man.
Yep.
See you later. I bet you this is either Egwene's escape or probably Elaine doing something. This could be Elaine or Egwene just going ham. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure. We think that Rand is not going to make it to Falme till episode 8 because he's going to be in Carrion doing a bunch of BS shit.
I haven't been watching this show. So has Rand in the episodes? Has Rand had his meeting with Swan Shanche yet?
No. She doesn't show up until next episode. Episode 6 and 7.
Yep. No Suwan Sanche yet. I don't know what the hell. Well, she had better things to do, I guess.
So she's going to meet Rand in episode 7. And I bet you it's going to happen at the end of episode 7. And then that's going to send him off to Falme in episode 8 for like 10 minutes.
Probably. Reba going Super Saiyan. Why not? I mean, who, like, she's gonna free them all, right? Who freaking knows, right? It's so off the rails, man. So, oh boy, I think it's probably gonna be the end now. Then probably that whatever that fire thing is probably gonna be part of whatever escape involves Egwene. But who knows? But yeah. So go ahead.
No, I was going to say, people need to realize this show is edited so poorly and paced so poorly. They have so much to do in 3 episodes still. I mean, it is mind-boggling how they're going to try to do anything of this because they have so much to do in 3 episodes.
And they don't spend time fleshing out any scene. It's cut.
Exactly right. It's whiplash. It's like one cut. Nothing breathes. It's like, the longest scene we have was Egwene and or not Egwene. I'm sorry, Moraine and her sister talking about that whatever stupid advice that was she gave her. Right. We have a few scenes where it's left to breathe, but they're completely pointless scenes. Right. It's like, what the hell? Like, why do I care about this?
Lan talking about emotions and Fifi.
I have never seen a show. I have never seen a show that is both bloated with pointless filler and also so short on story at the same time. It's absolutely amazing.
Yep. Oh, it's crazy. Like it's longest scene was stepping. I don't disagree. It really was. But yeah, so we've been almost going for 3 hours, guys. So I guess we'll go around the horn. Any parting words? Matt, thanks for coming in. Any expectations for next episode?
I don't really know what's going on. A couple of things that really have issues with. I have issues with is the fact that Min was supposed to be there, and she was the reason they knew where Egwene was in the first place. So I don't know how they're going to break her out because they are going to go blind. You know, they have no idea where Egwene is. A side note, I do force a non-book reader friend to watch this shit with me, and he has no idea what the fuck is going on. Just like
murdered you?
Absolutely no. I mean, he's not worse than me, but he'll watch anything. But like, I'm not really a person that really even likes TV, and the only reason I'm watching this is because I read the books. But no clue. I try to explain things. I'm like, they're so far off the rails now. I don't even know what to say.
You have no idea, right? You can't.
And
right?
so, I mean, this is what's supposed to be happening. I think this is what they're doing, but I don't know.
Right. God, I think that's I think those are the worst, and I like hearing about that when people are bringing their non-book reader friends, family, whatever in, and it's just like, I'm trying to watch this in good faith. I am so fucking confused. I have no idea what's happening. Who am I supposed to be rooting for? Who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy? What is happening? Like the title of this. What is happening? Like who knows what's happening? And yes, Shadowheart, I'm getting over being sick. Thank you very much for the well wishes. I'm close. Sorry, who did I interrupt?
I said everything is good. It's all about perspective. They're doing good things according to their morality.
Well, yeah. Ooh, we got a yes. Sorry, I'm gonna end the poll.
Sorry, these are the apologists that also are like, certain events in the 40s were, good because the people that did them thought they were good.
Rainland feels extremely small compared to Randland. They make it feel like Falme, Carrion, and Tarvalin are all. They do absolutely. Yeah. Well, see, the problem is they've introduced fast travel without introducing fast travel. Really, they just get there, but like that's the thing that sucks is fast travel is actually a thing in here. They've just fucked it. So like they've screwed up fast travel. So like,
hey, Prophet.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, I got to drop out right now. My wife is getting pissed. I'm not eating her dinner, so
Thanks,
I'm gonna head out. I'll see all y'all later. And Will of Prime sucks. Y'all have a good one.
All right, we'll talk to you, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Bye, Lyle.
Well, Holiday, any parting words, my man?
I'm looking forward to the land scene with the two Alana warders. Want to see how that turns out.
do you think there's going to be a fight, or do you think it's going to be talking and then hugs?
Talking
it's
and
gonna
then
be talking.
Yeah, talking and maybe hugs, but
you see, fighting is toxic masculinity, and we're trying to get rid of that.
I cannot wait to see Rand's sword forms. It's going to be epic. Oh my god.
Oh, speaking of that, I think it was Trip said that apparently there is some footage or whatever that shows him, Rand, channeling during the fight scene with Turok.
What? He's fucking cheating?
So I predicted it right then. That he's not going to sword fight Turok. He's just going to blow him up with one power.
I totally. I wonder if that's that. That gate scene they keep showing of the gate blowing up. I wonder if that's him. Is that him nuking Turok? Is that what we think? I can't believe. Man, what a fucking assassination!
But that just means that if they ever do hit the pivotal scene in like book 6, he isn't going to be able to do some of the stuff he does in that scene because he doesn't have sword skills. He doesn't have combat skills.
He'll get all this training in the waste.
Yeah, he'll
he'll use a spear instead of a sword.
Yeah,
they'll teach him swords too. Who cares? They'll just come on.
They can wield swords, just not to use them to fight.
Avienda can kill 18 people at once. I mean, come on. Like, surrounded.
The One-Punch Man breastplate thing,
Yeah, she's a god. She could teach everybody. So, Chris, any parting words?
I hope it's at least fun to watch, and that it's so bad that I can't stop laughing.
That would be a nice.
That would be an improvement.
There you go.
Versus the first 5 episodes where I just sat there and I felt like something had been taken out of me, so I started rereading the books. I'm on book 2 already.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good way. That's a good way to cleanse yourself of this. KRS says Avienda will be his mentor. I don't know, man. I think Perrin is going to be,
Yeah, Avienda owes Perrin a life debt, apparently.
Avienda's Chewbacca to Perrin now. So now Avienda's now Chewbacca, and
I could see Avienda replacing Fail.
Well, Fail's cast too, so he's going to get 2 apparently.
Oh, I didn't know that. Sorry.
Yeah, apparently everybody gets three significant others, except for the one guy that gets three significant. Like everybody's gonna get multiple partners, except for the guy that gets multiple partners.
I feel like they should have Leon and the 2 warders fight, but I feel like it's going to be super contrived if they do, and they will do something that doesn't make sense. So they will have like Leon draw his sword instead of taking that step forward and just using his hands.
So my whole reason for not wanting to see it is because, for me anyways, in the fight with the Fades, to me it looks like Daniel Henney did more time posing with a sword than actually training how to use a sword, because that sword fight looked terrible. Just like what you could see of it, it was in the dark. This is also in the dark with the if you've noticed the warder scene, they're in the dark. So I'm tired of seeing sword fights in the dark. I want to see a sword fight where I can actually see some sword skills being displayed. But Daniel Henney, it doesn't look to me like he's got any sword skills.
Whoa.
Whoa. Chris, what are you doing over there? Oh my God.
Skelly, what does it sound like? Oh my God.
What do you think it sounded like?
I completely zoned out. I'm sorry.
What a way to end the stream, guys. Woo! I guess we know who's Chris's favorite. Land is Chris feeling that way. Woo! All right. I love it, guys. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for any new members we got. Thank you for the super chats. And as always, there you go. You said there it is. Nathan said it. That sounded like a lot of Warner's sword form. There it is. All right, guys. Unhyped tomorrow night. Same time, same place as always. And we hope to see you there. And until next time, all hail the Lord Dragon. And let me go out on something here. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
This stream is brought to you by... Have you ever been misunderstood? A puppy in a rage monster's body? Well, we here at Trollocs Lives Matter believe there is a human inside all of us, and...
They were effectively genetically engineered war tools.
TLM, because even...
Nightmare fuel.
...needs love